All right, bada boom, bada boom. We are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from Sao Paulo, Brazil. I know it's been a while since we've seen these faces, these icons all together at the same time. My German mom, love crossing borders, gracing these airwaves once again on Chapapa TV. My brothers, how you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing great.
I feel the love.
Oh, hold up! I got my hat too. Let me go get my hat too.
Get the stack. Jay, what's going on with you, bro?
Coming to Chapapa tonight. We represent Chapapa. Make sure you get your Chapapa hats, guys.
Yeah, I heard the man.
You got your t-shirts. We got the hats for you, baby. They fit just right. They can fit good on my big head. You know they can fit good on the rest of you guys.
Listen, y'all heard the man represented all the way out in Cali, Colombia. Y'all heard the man. Chapapa TV. Make sure you guys get your hats. Jay, what's good, bro? I think the last time we got together on the channel was what, like May?
Oh man, it's been a second. It's been a second.
It's been a minute. You know, Jorge disappeared off the airways. The man got his watch hours. He was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on."
Bro, I wish it was that simple. My mom been kicking my ass up and down this the DR, man.
I ain't mad at you, brother. Take care of your business.
Hey, but I did make them watch hours though. Thanks to shout out to Miss Marie Life in Haiti. That one video got 46,000 views, over 400 subscribers, and it got over 4,000. Yo, 4,000 watch hours. Shout out to Miss Life in Haiti. Go check her out if y'all haven't checked her out. She's doing amazing things in Haiti.
Yes, she is.
Her story is crazy, man. It's amazing. Definitely amazing. 13 years in prison, got deported, and just living the dream.
Definitely. And if you guys are new to the channel, first off, welcome. Thank you. I need you guys to stop real quick. We'll still be here. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Love Crossing Borders TV and My Journey with Mom. Andre representing Colombia. Jorge representing DR. We got Taylor Made Dreams coming representing DR. Also, is going to be a very, very educational topic tonight. So, Dre, you first. What's new in Colombia? What's new with you? How's your summer going?
Oh man, everything's going good. We got the Afro-Colombian celebration coming up next week. The Alvarez, Petronio Alvarez. He was a hero here in South America, and every year all the Afro-Colombians come together and just celebrate their Afro roots here in Cali, Colombia. Over 300,000 people come from all over the world. And what makes it so cool this year, they're going to be celebrating it in a satellite format. They're going to be in Brazil. Forget what part of Brazil they're going to be celebrating it in at the same time here in Cali, at the same time in Ecuador. That's how important this celebration actually is to the Black experience or the Afro experience here in South America. So we got a lot of YouTubers coming down. A lot of people that have been subscribers will be coming down to Cali, Colombia next week. It starts on Thursday. Free concert, like 15,000 people go to the concert. Food from all the Pacific coast. So if you want to take real, authentic Colombian, not that trash and Medellin food, you got to be at this festival because Black people can cook just like they do in the States. And so we're excited about that going on this upcoming week. Plus, my Raiders playing tonight, so I get the chance to watch the replay after we get done with this for the Hall of Fame game.
Come on! You can't pollute the airways with that, Dre. It's too early. Come on.
Shout out to I'm just happy that football is back.
Yeah, amen to that, bro. Amen to that. Speaking of YouTubers,
I mean, Raiders versus Jacksonville, so in an expedition game, basically. But shout out to those guys that went to the Hall of Fame today.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about the Raiders, but definitely shout out to football season being back.
Yes, sir.
Just the beauty. I know Jorge's hype because the little betting stations in the DR. Jay, do they have like little betting stations out there in Colombia?
Say that again.
Do they have like places you could bet on the games out there in Colombia?
You know what? I never thought about it. I've never been much of a betting man. I'm a dude that go to the casino with $20 and leave mad. So I can have 4,000 in my pocket. I'm mad about that little $20 being gone in the slot machine. So I never been much of a game. But we do have casinos and things here. I got a partner that came down. He went to the casino down the street from us. So
not casinos. It's the bancos. The bancos deportes. We're gonna put you on. Okay, but let me get.
They actually do have that, but like I said, and I've seen it. They actually have one downtown that does the sports betting, and they have one across, like right around the corner. that's part of the casino. They do that, and they advertise it too. But
me and Jorge about to put you on the game and anybody else living in DR. But first off, shout out to Profe, Nikki checking in, Global Paper from Medellin checking in, Kings and Dreams. One of the YouTubers is going to be down there in Colombia next week. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. Kings and Dreams interview coming up soon, real soon. Global Paper, you know the deal. Teddy KGB, first super chat of the night. Appreciate you, bro. Listen, y'all, all the host cash apps are right here, floating around on the bottom. We got Dre's, we got Jorge's, Taylor G's. Get the cash app because cash apps gets us fastest. YouTube like to be a little bit stingy with the super chats. So make sure you guys hit up all the hosts, show some love. Yogi was good. All right, guys. So we about to start
in the building.
And as soon as Russ hops in, let's get to it. But yeah, Drew, not to get off topic. So Jorge and I, during the football season, we used to bet in DR. So we used to bet 500 pesos. 500 pesos is what, maybe $8? But if you win, the payout would be $1,500.
See, I do that with fantasy football. Okay. See, I've been doing fantasy football for about a good 10 years. So I always have my teams that I draft, and then I also do the weekly drafts with what's the other DraftKings.
Yeah, DraftKings.
So I'm always
DraftKings. You could play while you're in Colombia.
Yeah, I can.
Really?
Damn. That's because I got a VPN.
Even with my VPN, they won't let me play.
See, mine works because this is what I do. I have my boy in the States set everything up, and then I can regulate it and control it while here with my VPN. So I have my partner in the States set everything up.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Teddy KGB, first super chat tonight, as always. What country do you set your VPN to? Maybe that might.
I set mine here to Colombia. Oh, no. I set mine to the States, to Miami.
Okay, what state specifically? Like
Miami. You got to realize that you got to also remember DraftKings is not allowed in every state.
Okay, so maybe that's my issue. I'm gonna try it.
Not allowed in every state.
Miami. Jorge, I've been trying to tell about this VPN thing, man. You gotta get on it. And anybody who's working online, remote, VPNs will be your best friends.
Because it connects you like we use our same VPN account for Andrea's computer, for my computers, for our cell phones, for if we want to watch Netflix on television and we want to see some Netflix shows or that's only in the States, we just cut our VPN on because we use our Fire Stick and VPN. We have our VPN on our Fire Stick.
Yep, I do the same thing with Express VPN.
Yeah, that's what I have, Express VPN.
Okay. See, great minds.
It's only $9-10 a month, man. And Jorge, I'm telling you, is well. I use it all the time, the time.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Definitely.
Yeah, I paid $100 for the year, and then I get my Sirius XM, and it is great. It is great. So Jorge, catch us up a little bit. You know what's going on with you out there in the DR? How's your mom doing? How's the channel going?
Channel is doing well. I haven't better than what I expect, to be honest, because I haven't really posted any videos or had done anything except for shorts because the person that was taking care of my mom, she moved out. So I was doing the whole move situation, then getting my house back in order, sending furniture out to get reupholstered. Then my mom got a new nurse. So it's just been a crazy month. But thankfully, the new nurse is working out. So Jorge's about to have free time to hopefully do what he do.
Yeah.
Not what Free does, Chapapa does, but to do what Jorge do, you know. Like,
hello.
Hello. Hey, Dre,
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I already know. You ain't got to explain to me. I already know.
Hello? You talking to me? You talking to somebody over there.
So I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the channel, even though I haven't been putting up any videos and all that stuff. I know that y'all do it not because my videos are any good, but more to show me love. So I really appreciate y'all.
No doubt. That's what the love is all about. Make sure you guys take the chance to go check out Jorge's channel. That's something I want to start doing going forward. Like, you know, all of that community we have, Jay, you know, that group chat we have. I want to start getting some of the fellas in here that don't quite have the numbers, and just kind of like subscribe, share. So just have everybody, just go from one channel to the next, just hit that subscribe, because I would say that's one of the hardest things starting off with YouTube, just getting that subscriber. So I already got Kings and Dreams lined up when he gets back from Colombia, and then anybody else, just hit me up on the side, and we are going to get you in here. So, but Jorge, I heard you said that you have somebody new taking care of your mom, and she lives in Santiago.
Yeah, she lives in Santiago.
Okay, so now, price wise, what is that costing for anybody who wants to, have a clue? Okay, what does it cost to have somebody? What does she do? Like what are some of the things she does in the house?
Well, my mom, she's to the point that she does everything. She still, thankfully, does everything by herself. Use the bathroom, take a shower, feed herself, and all that stuff. She just can't be home alone. And obviously, you have to have a certain level of patience. So the lady that comes in now, she cooks, she cleans, and she just has company with my mom. Stays and make sure my mom's okay and don't do nothing that she shouldn't be doing. She'll do puzzles, flashcards, stuff like that. Check her blood pressure if she needs to. And as far as price wise, I don't try to cut corners on certain things. I know, like, you're always going to have somebody that's going to be like, oh, but that's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things I feel that you do cut corners in, and then there's certain things that I don't mind cutting corners in. And I'm pretty sure, Dre, you probably feel the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm paying her. She asked me for, let's just say hypothetically, 12,000, right? I gave her 15,000, right? So I gave her more than what she wanted. Plus, I gave her a bonus, because out here they only get paid the 15th and the 30th. But what does she do between the 1st and the 15th? So I gave her a bonus. I gave her money for clothes, and I made sure she had everything that I didn't need. So, like, her husband, they on top of it. Like, hey, do you need anything? Her husband comes over here, like, when he drops her off, do you need anything? Do you need me to help you do this? I'm an electrician. He's the one that put me on, like, the painting guy. Man, Dre, this guy, no call, no show, no nothing. But that's typical in these countries, right? Thankfully, through a connection, a business relationship that you build, I asked her, my husband does that. Boom. Immediately came in the next day, patched everything up, did everything. $120 for a 3-bedroom apartment. And I'm talking about plastered all the holes. I had a big, huge hole in my bedroom for my AC, covered all that, like 12,000 pesos. That would, like, it was $120 US. Which the other guy was going to charge me like close to $150. So I saved $30. So, it's very important to be out here, not just chasing mangoes all day, and actually building meaningful relationships, because that really saved me, because I was in a crunch, because that same weekend was about to get my appliances and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, the importance of having a plan B. Jay, I don't know if customer service is the same in Colombia, where you need to have a plan B and C. How do things work out there? Like, say if you need to get things done through the help.
It's not much as a plan B or C, as much as everything kind of shuts down earlier than it would in the States. Like, you would sit back and think like the other day we had an issue with the refrigerator. You know how sometimes your freezer gets cold, but then all of a sudden the bottom half doesn't get cold, and so all that cool air, instead of circulating, you have snow in the freezer. So I realized, okay, let me just let the refrigerator thaw out, let that, whatever it is blocking it, that ice by now is blocking it, because I had stuffed so much stuff in the bottom half, it was blocking the air from coming up and down from the freezer to the bottom half. Called somebody to come through, check it out. Couldn't get anybody. This was 2:30, because Colombia starts its process of shutting down at 2:30, because Colombians start work at 7 o'clock in the morning. Compared, like in the States, we're thinking like, hey, it's 5 o'clock. But then you're still thinking like, hey man, you're a plumber or you're an electrician. You're supposed to be on call 24/7, 20 if you would really want this real money. And so I was even telling Andre, I said, just tell them whatever the price. I don't care nothing about the price, just like the brother was just saying. and couldn't get anybody to come out. Fortunately, it was something that was simple, but that's just the norm here in Colombia. Everything just shuts down as far as service earlier than we would expect in the United States. And there really isn't in these countries a 24-hour per se person that you could call on. I don't even know if it's a 24-hour tow service. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the only time I ever see the tow trucks is during the daytime, but I don't even know it's a 24-hour tow service, except for maybe with the police stop a person and they got to get the person's car or bike towed. But other than that, I don't know. But that just goes to show you that, it's just lessons learned. Just like Jorge said, and it's all about the networking and putting somebody in your Rolodex. And one person you meet introduces and open up doors to another person that you meet. So we met a lot of good people down here that help us out in other areas as well.
Man, definitely. Jorge will tell you, I used to pull my hair out just trying to get good service out there in the DR. But shout out to Kings and G's. Like I said, let's get those likes up. Make sure you guys share this for any of your traveling friends, any of your friends hoping to retire and live overseas, because we got Dominican Republic, Brazil. I'm in Sao Paulo. First live in a new apartment, feeling great. I can see the views on the 18th floor. Got the city behind me. So you guys, who wants to go first? We're now more than halfway through 2022. What has improved for you guys as an expat?
You can go, Dre.
I'm trying to think of what hasn't.
No,
I'm trying to think about what hasn't. We ain't got enough time on this live stream. You know how I talk. We have enough time on the live stream to discuss all that is taking place in my life. Economics, peace of mind. Me and Andre just, before this live stream, we wanted to go to the gym.
Hey, Dre, do me a favor, Dre. Do me a favor. Let's focus on that a little bit. The first thing you said, let's focus on that.
The big E.
Economics. I think it's very important. Very, very, very.
The finances.
I don't understand how more expats and this community, because we're a community. We all, young brothers, none of us rich that I know of. You know what I'm saying? I haven't came across nobody that's just sitting on millions, this and that.
Right.
Like, brothers, y'all can have fun and build wealth once you touch ground in another country. Like, the chicks, amazing. Have all the fun that you want. But your finances and your economics should be soaring too. Like, it should, if not at a more rapid speed, but at least parallel to one another. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think enough people focus on that.
Absolutely correct. I think that they really, if men and women begin to focus on the well-being of their finances, like many men focus on the well-being of the females, it will amaze you how many men would have left the United States far more and far faster. I think when families and people start to realize I could really do some things saving money now, instead of some of you dudes could have went on ahead and started that business. You could have bought your first piece of real estate. You could have bought a business online, but you got to pay rent in the States. Some of y'all grocery bill is so high. You could have put that on a down payment on certain investments. You could have had enough money in Tesla when it was blowing up in 2020. Only people that made money in 2020 was the ones that already had money, or those of us that were living outside the country already. So when it came, we didn't go through the struggle of, oh my God, they told me I'm laid off all year because of the pandemic and so forth. Oh my God. We didn't go through that. So my point is, once you guys get to the point where you realize that even if you're making $1,000 or $2,000 a month, 1,000 of that can be used towards your business goals, your investment goals, your savings, your even helping out family members, whatever, like in Jorge's case, whatever it may be. So realize that, guys. Once I came to that conclusion, I was like, man, I only spend in the money that we make with our branding and digital marketing per month, maybe 25% of it. So I got 75% every month of my money to do some things that I would dream about doing. And it ain't about sitting up there, I'm gonna buy this fancy car and this and that. Me and Andre looking at property right now. We're looking at buying some major property right now. We're looking at buildings now. And so to sit back and not have to worry about, man, my rent 2,000 plus electricity and all that. Y'all, man, I don't see how guys do it. I notice I never see anything about the ladies. That's just, you know, icing on the cake. But man, what should force y'all to want to say, let me get the hell out of the United States, is that y'all overpaying for this. I know I didn't want to ramble.
Now go ahead, because you're
guys
getting
are really overpaying for the exact same products. What you're paying 100, 150. Let's say you're paying 150. I'll tell you what proof of it. I was on a live stream with a gentleman the other day. He had some Yeezy shoes. These dudes are paying $200, $300, $400 for Yeezy shoes in the United States. The exact same shoe. He got it from Southeast Asia, $20. It's the exact same shoe. It's nothing different about that shoe.
But the store, Dre, the store. It's all about the store.
But that's the part. Go ahead, Ryan.
And here go the part too, Dre, that is just baffling and amazing to me. Like I was out with a supervisor of mine back in the States yesterday, and first thing he said, he was like, "Hey man, I see why you came over here. He's been out here. He's supposed to be here for 5 days. He's been out here now for damn near 3 weeks. He sent me a picture at the river. He sent me a picture at the beach. He riding horses for the first time. He's doing this. He's doing that. You know, and this is a guy that made well over 150. But here go the thing. Like I told him, and everybody that travels and actually becomes an expat, not a person that just travel chasing women, because this is totally different. If you just traveling to smash chicks, I ain't got nothing against that. Hey, it's your money, do your thing, enjoy. But when you really traveling to embrace the community and take everything that it has to offer and to better your life and to better your well-being and to better your health, it's different, because everything that Dre said is true. But here go the kicker to me is everything is true. Like when you in the States and you trying to save money, you on a Roman noodle diet. You ain't going out. You ain't going out to eat. You ain't hanging out with your friends. You eating, you know, off the dollar menu or some Roman noodles. You just not doing nothing. You can be in Colombia, from what Dre's saying, or damn sure I know in DR, and still spend a whole lot less and enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Like, have a decent life. I don't live in a 3,000 square foot house like I got back at the house, but I got a nice 3-bedroom apartment. It's only me and my mom. What do I need a 3,000 square foot house? We got TVs, we got fans, we got cable, we got all the channels, we got security. We go out to eat twice a week. So I'm not sacrificing nothing and still saving. The only thing you might sacrifice, like everybody that travel, we can be honest and say, in my opinion, the States give you one thing, and it's convenience. Like everything run a lot more efficient. Like anybody that says no is not in one of these third world countries, or what people will call third world country. So things are not as efficient or convenient, or like Dre said, it close off at a certain time. Like Javier said, from 12 to 2, you not finding nobody in no store to work here because they at lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? Customer service.
Right, same thing here.
If I could save, like Javier said, $2,400 a month, hey, there's nothing that important. I see them tomorrow. Hey, you can't make it Monday, bring your ass over here on Wednesday. It's not that important to me. You know what I'm saying? If I could save $2,000, that's $24,000 a year without trying and still having fun. How many people in the States don't have $24,000 in a bank account and they make $80,000, $90,000 a year?
Over 85%, statistically over 80. I have to look it up for the stats for our other political channel. Statistically, over 85% of U.S. citizens, rich, poor, tall, short, doesn't matter what culture, race, color, or creed, right now do not have even $1,000 cash emergency fund.
Crazy.
Over 85% of the country, whoever your school teacher is, your boss ain't got 1,000 put to the side. His boss is in that ain't got 1,000 put to the side. But I know my boss make. You don't know what your boss spends. That's what I'm saying. Your boss might be making $250, but he blowing. You see what I'm saying? To pay for that crib that he got, and pay for his kids' tuitions, and pay for that nice Mercedes or BMW you keep pulling up. Your boss bringing in 200, yeah, but after taxes and after all that he has to deal with, if he married or in any type of relationship, your boss who making $250 a year might walk away in his bank account. If he could stack, maybe statistically, the way the United States is right now, maybe a good 5,000-10,000 at the end of the year.
That's crazy.
After all that, when we talk about your boss, we ain't talk about you, we talk about your boss and your boss's boss.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way that that should even be normal to people. When, especially now, like you said on your show plenty of times, Dre, with the pandemic, the pandemic opened so many doors because it made it easy, just like Taylor made, Russ always say, to live that laptop lifestyle. You could take an easy pay cut. If you make 100, take a $40,000 pay cut, 60, boom, move to Colombia, move to Brazil, move to DR. That 60,000, you already in the top echelon. You're gonna save from that 60,000 easily 25,000, 30,000 a year. Easy. And you're gonna have fun.
Absolutely. And this the part that really probably just hits me the most, Jorge, is you don't miss anything except petty stuff. Like you say, you know what? Hey, bro, when you come from the States, bring me some Lawry seasoned salt. Or somebody might say, you know, my favorite salad dressing. Could you bring me some salad dressing? You know, the blue cheese salad dressing or something. You know, something petty, something that's nothing major. But over 98% of what you have in the United States in your malls, in your stores, at your all of it, every candy bar that you like to snack on, and there's a healthier version of it in these other countries. Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut, we got that. You want to go to Papa John's? It's right down the street. You want to get you some Starbucks? Right there. McDonald's right around the corner. All of it. So why are you paying almost $2, $3 for a Big Mac when you could come to these other countries and that exact same Big Mac is just still $1.15 or 95 cents?
Or you can get it from the locals for cheaper.
You see what I'm saying? That same Big Mac. That probably blows me the longer I'm here and I travel to these other countries and I see the cost of a steak dinner. The same steak dinner that you guys are paying $200-$300.
If not better, Dre.
Way better, way healthier.
Because it's actually no preservatives. They killed it this morning or a day ago.
Raised on grass, man, no corn.
Ain't no way, yo. Ain't no way.
So that probably, if you take out the element of, you know, looking, find a good spouse and somebody special in your life, all that is cool. But I'm telling you, for you guys that aren't looking for somebody special in your life, you just want a peace of mind. I don't see how y'all still in the States. Just the cost of it. I do not see how dudes especially if you're older and you retire, you're on Social Security, if you're on VA, the only thing that will keep me in the States, especially if you got DR or Mexico right there. You can't tell me as a grandparent, other than raising your kids, if you're a grandparent that raise your kids, like the 5 million grandparents in the United States right now raise their children. Shout out to you all. But if you're not in the situation where you raise your grandkids, you ain't seeing your grandkids that often. You might see them 2-3 times a year. So you can do the same thing in DR. Go to DR, live a good life, be retired. Y'all can fly back to DR or drive across the border to Mexico as much as you want and see them old nappy head kids and drive right on back or fly right on back. Even you who have grandchildren and you love them, you ain't got no excuse. You have no excuse to be trying to sit up there and you see your grandkids, but then you making life-changing decisions at the gas station, in the grocery store, and when you get your medication. You shouldn't be doing that at this age of life. So if you know that we men who are of all different ages and living in different locations of the world are telling you, you are getting robbed because you're overpaying for the exact same products, the same medical needs, the same medications, all of it. And half the medications that you pay $200, $300 for, you go to DR Colombia, is 45 cents a pill, man. 10 cents a pill. For the exact same medication, you paying $35, $40 a pill for. I would just love a panel of people to come up and try to dispel or prove to us just on cost. Because they will argue with us all day long about y'all going with the mangoes, y'all going for pay for play. I would love to have a panel of people try to convince us when it comes to the cost of living for the exact same lifestyle, if not better, why the heck we should live in the United States. I've never seen a panel on that. They just want to fuss to us about pay for play and women and y'all, all them other women, your third world, but you never want to talk about the cost of living for the exact same life that you got in the United States.
I want one of you, gentlemen or lady, in the comments to honestly say what's keeping you in the States. I asked this, what's keeping you in the States, and for those of you who follow Russ on YouTube, he's been on fire this week, attacking. I'm going to say attacking because he's literally hitting you guys over the head with the same laptop that you could be making money from while living in the DR, living in Colombia, living in Brazil. So somebody please just honestly say in the comments, what's keeping you? Is it fear? What is it? Russ, what's good? How's everything going?
What up, nephew? What's up, my journey?
What's up, young man?
Right? Russ came back from Cuba looking 30 years younger. Love it.
It was, woo. You're going to love it, Drake, when you go. I'm telling you. You're going to love it.
Yeah. We're looking forward. We're going to Cuba at the end of next month, so we're excited about that. We're going to celebrate Colombia Valentine's Day. It's September 21st, and so we're going to celebrate it in Cuba next month.
Nice. Congratulations.
Nice. What's up? What's good with you? How's your week going so far in DR? How's
I don't know. My week is good week. Doing just working, doing did a lot of consultations, man, this weekend. This is just what, Thursday? Was it Thursday?
Mm-hmm. I love that we got a guest today.
You love what?
I love when you got a guest today. The days just be blending together.
It do. No, but like I said, just trying to keep myself busy, man. So just one thing after another. You know how you have those weeks, man, where it's just, your phone just won't stop ringing. And somebody's calling for one thing or another. But like I said, just a very busy, productive week. So
that's always a good thing.
Yeah. So now I put out a lot of videos. So I've been challenging myself to do 5 videos per week. So nice. I started that last week. I think I'm on the I already got 3 out this week, but I'm gonna edit a video tonight and put it out. And I think I'm gonna do 1 or 2 more, but I'm gonna launch my other channel too. So I'm supposed to be doing that Friday. So man, it's just busy, man. But blessing, definitely a blessing.
Make sure you guys check out TaylorMade Dreams channel if you haven't already. Definitely, one of the first pioneers to move to the Dominican Republic, live there remotely, pass the baton, teach people. He offers counseling here, so make sure you guys hit him up. So we're more than halfway through 2022. What has improved for you as an expat in the Dominican Republic?
The biggest improvement, the biggest surprise, the greatest joy, man, is my daughter. My daughter Amber.
There we go.
She's at the top of every goddamn list at this point. So, yeah. And I'm seeing her today. We're halfway through the year, brother. And I'm all the way good. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And having a child overseas, I believe you did a live on that. Why it's so much better. Can you touch a little bit on that, please?
Yeah. Well, if you look at, and I did a video last night.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, and the video basically was about that shameful situation with Sesame Park, and ignoring, you know, those two little 6-year-old black girls. And one of the aunts, Jody Brown, posted it to her Instagram, and it just went viral. And you know, and then after she posted hers, they have literally hundreds of videos showing the same thing. The only difference now is Jody was one that decided to make it public and take off. And right now, man, you know, there's like 3 companies involved with that. So there's Sesame Park, which is under the umbrella of Sesame Street, which is under the umbrella of SeaWorld. And they each have been putting out statements literally tripping over themselves. You know, they making corrective statements to the statement they made, and then they got to correct 2 statements to the statements they, you know, it's just crazy. So they went from like one civil suit to a class action suit to another individual $25 million suit. So yeah, man, they're gonna sue the shit out of that company, man. But at the end of the day, because you know, parents gonna do and try to hit them where it hurts. At the end of the day, you know, it's about the kids. It's about the children. And you can see on the kids' faces, you know, surely they was disappointed. And I'm saying all that to say that raising a child overseas, you know, Dominicans are very much nationalists. They protect their kids. If Dominicans don't do anything right, they're going to look out for their kids. It's not like the States. You pick up a child, you want to, or you steal in the car, and they run off with the child. Let me tell you, man, you do that shit Dominican Republic, you might not even make it to the jail.
Everybody on the block gonna come after you.
Everybody is gonna kick your ass, come out those machetes. So Dominicans are very protective over their children. That's why you see these Dominican kids, a lot of them walking by themselves. You're like, why these 2 little kids? But they know exactly where they're going. They get there safely all day long, all night long. And just being able to, like I said, raise a kid over here, man, where my child can be a child for as long as they can. I don't have to have that talk necessarily right away with them. Surely before I go to the States. But Dominican Republic, man, you know, they're not burdened down with LGBT community and people trying to rewrite history. So, man, you know, having and raising a child outside of the U.S., man, gives your child an opportunity to stay a kid as long as they can stay a kid, man. So that's
good point.
The best thing. Huh?
Good point. That's an excellent point. Allow a child to be a kid as long as they want to be a kid.
Exactly. And that's a beautiful thing, man. There's nothing sadder than a sad child. There's nothing sadder. Y'all know I'm a big advocate of kids, man. And for them to, you know, just blatantly practice racism on 6-year-olds, man. And as a matter of fact, in the video I did, there's another video where this like one Sesame Street character is literally taunting like a 4 or 5-year-old, and then knocks the 4 or 5-year-old down. Now me, there'd have been a fight up in that part. You was tailor-made dreams, kick Brick Bernie's ass, you know. No, but seriously, man, you know, kids are going to grow up, man, you know, but you know, kids are innocent, man, to adults fuck them up. So, man, when your kid can be a child as long as you want them to stay a kid, as long as they need to be, that's a beautiful thing, man. And especially, you know, you feel safe about your kids. You don't worry about dropping them off at school and hearing about a mass shooting, and you come to pick up your bloody 6-year-old child, man. So, the United States is just crazy, man. So, I always said, man, you know, I would not raise a child in America these days. There's just no way. You know, people ask me, are you going home to raise a child? Like, hell no. My child would never be raised. They're going to take vacations and trips with me, but raising a child there? Shit. Hell no. Not in that insanity.
And that's a strong point, you guys. I want you guys to take away the fact that Russ visits the States, you know, he'll say a vacation there, but as far as having a child there, because he's had his child in the Dominican Republic. But as far as going back to move, they're gonna say, oh, but what about the school system or health care or blah 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 yada yada? Nah, it's not happening. Shout out to Blue Collar Brother for the super chat. He says, what's keeping me here are the persons or people praying against me. Seems like I keep one mishap after the other.
Oh, that's just life. Life is gonna happen. One thing that people got to realize is just because you have a great idea worked up in your head doesn't mean that the world stops. You got to improvise. Like, shit happens. Life happens. I was supposed to, in my mind, I was supposed to still be in the States. This would have been my 7th year in trucking. My house, I wanted to move to DR once my primary house was paid off, because my brother has 2 kids. So I was like, you know what? That house I want to be paid off. I bought it for $185,000. It's worth $470,000. I'm like, okay, once I add that into the trust, he has enough to sustain. You know what I'm saying? He has, by the way, I mean, not to air his stuff out there, but it's okay. We're an open book on here. We all family. He has 2 special needs kids. One is autistic and one is in a wheelchair. So I'm like, yo, this is what I want to do for him. You know what I'm saying? Make sure he's good. I don't have kids. But guess what? Life happened and I couldn't wait. My mom has dementia, so I had to leave. So you can't just wait. It's never going to be a perfect time and then everything falls into place and you just going to get up and go. Dre said on our live one time that he got 20,000 and he was like, okay, here you go. How many people got 20,000 that they drop on a car? You rather spend a $50,000 car. You driving around in a fucking Benz. You living in a penthouse for $2,000 apartment with a theater seats and shit like that, and that don't belong to you, right? Shit happens. We got to make sacrifice and keep on pushing. I'm pretty sure Taylor got the same stuff. His stuff didn't work out perfectly, and then he just got up and left. Nobody does that I know of.
And you're not going to be able to relocate in a perfect moment. It's not going to be perfect. You're just gonna. I remember when I told my boy, I said, I'm gonna stay here a couple more months until I get a little bit more money, because I'm. Yeah. And he said, Andre, get your ass out of here. Go. You said you was gonna leave in November. Ain't no staying until January. Because when January hits, you're going to have another excuse and another excuse. And then something going to happen, and that's going to impact the money that you did save up. Get up out of here. There is no perfect moment to do it. Russ didn't have a perfect moment. We just took our time. Here's the part, guys. We took our time and did it. We didn't wait for a perfect. This is not double dutch, guys. It's not double dutch, the perfect time to jump in. We took our time doing it. Through the ups, downs, ins, outs, family members getting sick, family members doing well, family members understanding, family members misunderstanding us. We took our time to do it. So that's why it took a 3, 4, 5 year time period. But we never waited for a perfect moment to do it. You just got to say, you know what? I've sold everything. Did you do that yet? If you ain't at that point, then don't talk to us. I've given away what's left. Have you done that yet? Are you sitting back and you said my lease is up and okay, next year my lease is up next September. Have you put yourself in a position when that lease is up? It ain't gotta be a perfect moment. But if you ain't done all these things, don't sit back and tell us, well, it's because I gotta rob Peter to pay Paul. I done lost my job, my dog died. Dude, you can play that violin to somebody else. We black men. We done heard that violin our whole life. You ain't gonna have a perfect moment. Never. It ain't never had a perfect moment in the United States. Name one time in the history of the 400-year history or plus that we've had in the United States where we had a perfect moment to do something. Nobody had a perfect moment to start a college. Nobody had a perfect moment to go to college. Nobody had a perfect moment to get married. A lot of black couples get married, both of them broke. There is no perfect moment to do what you want to do with your life. It's just about taking your time to do it. So even though you see us on the other side of our dreams, realize it took us some years to get it took, like I said, my case was 3, Russell's was 4 or 5. He's telling it and speaking it out in existence. everybody looking at us like we crazy. Like, why are you moving? Where now? What? Where is that? Where's Colombia? Where's that? Is that an island?
Is that Colombia with the U?
This day, I got family that don't know. I got family that called me and thought I was in Columbus, North Carolina. I got family just a couple months ago was like, well, since you down in North Carolina, baby. I was like, I'm in Colombia, like South America. Oh, I thought you were in Colombia, South Carolina. I'm sorry, baby.
And it's not just the time. It's what you also said, Dre, the sacrifice. We all made sacrifices in order, gave stuff up. Like,
man, that last month I was on an air mattress. When I go back to the States, I'm sleeping on couches. I ain't about to waste no money in the States, living all good. I ain't got family in Florida, except my one uncle. So I know how his schedule is, and I know how my schedule is. So all I'm doing is sleeping on the couch. He got one bedroom, so I'm like, I'm not about to go up there up north while my family is in Detroit because I ain't trying to be around them crazy folks. That's why I went to Florida.
Man, I come from.
But dudes see us. They just. I think one day we need to do a YouTube live stream on the sacrifice that we made because people don't know there were many a days when we sat back and said, I could use the $300 to take this chick out on a date and break her back in afterwards. Or I could take the $300 and put it in my kitty for my adventure that I'm going to enjoy in Colombia.
Like you guys started saying recently, the monk lifestyle. You know, it was a point where till this day, it's been about maybe 4 years. I still haven't touched a woman in the United States. That type of sacrifice. When I was getting ready to move, all right, I'm back in my mama's house, sold all my stuff. I'm sleeping in the basement. I got my one-way ticket. What are some of the excuses? And when I say excuses, like not hardcore reasons that people give you guys are like, man, I just can't move out the country or out the matrix, or I know you guys get a lot of consultations. So Unc, you go first. What are like some of the excuses where you're like, man, these are just excuses that are just holding you back? What are some of the worst things you've heard that people give you for not leaving the matrix?
Well, you know, it's a circus of excuses. It's literally a circus of excuses. It's you know, it's finances, and I'm talking to a person that had their finances together in you know 15 goddamn years. So you know, and I talked about this on one of my shows last week, well this week as well. You know, if you're doing something for 15 years and the shit still ain't working, and 15 years, 4 years later, you still saying I'm broke because of this. Well, you know, it may have started that way, but 15 years later, you still can't figure it out. You still can't get off the pot. So, you know, either you need to quit what you're doing or you definitely need to move south, you know, because what you're doing ain't working. And so I try to, you know, tell people, like they say that, you know, the meaning of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. But that's what people do. They do the same thing over and over again. Or they may say, well, you know, my parents, like you look at Jorge, you know, his parents, you know, unfortunately, his mother has dementia, but he said, listen, she would even have a better quality of life moving over here. I can take better care of her moving over here. So he did some lifestyle laptop movement to support his lifestyle in Dominican Republic, to take care of his mother and also give himself a better lifestyle. If you don't figure it out after 3, 4, 5 years, you honestly need to just stop, drop, roll. When you get up, go in another direction because the shit ain't working. But it's everything. It's the kids, and we talking grown kids, right? We talking kids in their 30s, right? Grown ass kids. You still worried about these kids in their 30s, you know? Or, you know, I don't want to sell my house. You know, you hate living there. You hate being there. You don't want to come
can't afford it.
Yeah, but you hate giving it up. So it's just confusing, man. You know, and I'm at the point where I listen. If you want to pay me to listen to those excuses, then more than happy to book a consultation. Whether be your therapist, your life coach, whatever. I'm getting paid for it. You know, I'll have a conversation with anybody. But if I find us coming back, you know, 2 or 3 times, there's the same circular conversation. I don't do circular conversation without getting paid. and compensated. But no, and most people will keep using the same excuse. It's always something. And what they don't understand is, like I run my race in my lane, right? I'm the best at being Russell Taylor. Can't nobody better be me than me. Jorge is the best at being Jorge. Dre is the best at being Dre. Chapapa TV is the best at being Chapapa TV. I don't try, people trying to run races in somebody else's lane. The only person I compare myself to is the guy that I look that's in the mirror every day. That's the only person I compare myself to, the only lane I stay in. I don't get mad at people's success. I get glad at their success, especially when they're my friend. It's beautiful. Listen, you can get paid just for your connections. Just just connecting one person to another.
Talk about connections. You did that for me, TaylorMade.
Hold on, Jorge. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Teddy KGB, thank you for super chat. He says, I was about to drop 30K on a watch. Jeez. But Dre dropped some gems on the stream. Thank you all, brothers. I said, hell, I could put that on a villa. Yeah, definitely, man. These are what these live streams are for. These are why I had to get, the 3 horsemen of laptop living and YouTube of all ages from different parts of the matrix, all coming together for the same common goal. Get the hell out. Life will be easier. Life will be happier. What were you saying, Jorge?
Now I said TaylorMade is 100% correct. He put me in contact with the shout out that I gave Life in Haiti. He's the reason that I got that one video that I did with her got 46,000 views, and one video pushed me over the 4,000 watch hours.
All it takes.
One video.
I keep trying to tell dudes that's all it takes is that one video.
He called me. It was like 7:30. I'm like, oh man, something must have happened. It was early too. You was up early that day, Brother Russ. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I said, oh man, something must have happened. Let me get up. And then you like, nah, Life in Haiti wants to get in contact with that. Here go the number. Just like that. And I call her, there go the connection. So one video, one connection from Brother Russ is what pushed me over the 4,000 watch hours. So I appreciate that. So you 100% right with that. 100% right with that.
Nah, man, I'm happy. Especially when I see younger cats like you doing it, man. It just does my heart well. When I see brothers like Chapapa TV, my journey with my mom. I mean, that's quality content, and to have just a little slither piece of somebody's success. Man, it makes you feel good. I remember when Ace didn't have 1,000 subscribers. Ace called me, man. I said, get it. Same thing with what's her name? Matter of fact, she was 98 people shy of getting that 1,000. For some reason, she could, she couldn't get that 1,000. I said, look, come on the show tonight. I said, I normally have at least 200, 300 people watching. I said, come on the show and let's do it. And man, I stayed on that show. We stayed on there until she got that pushed her over that 1,000.
I think that might have been Kyla
that night.
I think it was Yosoi Kyla.
Huh?
Was it her? Was it Yosoi Kyla?
Yoso Kayla.
Yeah, it was. That's what I thought it was too.
Yeah. She said, oh, it's okay. I said, listen, we're gonna stay on this thing until we hit that 1,000. And she said, nah. She said, hopefully by next week. I said, fuck that. We're gonna do it tonight.
There we go.
Yeah, that's love.
No, but
that's love.
Yeah, then you appreciate your people supporting, Chapapa TV or Chapapa people supporting me and me supporting Dre. And listen, to click on to a fellow YouTuber, man, especially people that's in our community that's giving out good content, it costs you 2 seconds. 2 seconds, go to the channel, hit subscribe. That's it. That's all it's gonna cost you. 2 seconds. It won't hurt. It don't send off electric shock waves or nothing like that. So support the channels, man. Support the channels. That's how we do this, man.
Listen, it don't cost no money to like a video. You don't have to give blood to subscribe. It's just love. And that's what I appreciate more about the expat community. It's a love times 10 as opposed to as if you were in the States. And I don't know if that comes with people having less stress or the weather or being comfortable, being happy, but the love in the expat community is greater than even what you could get from some friends or family in the States.
Yeah. And that's whether you're single, married, single fathers, single mothers. We have a mix of everything here, a mix of everything. So, and there's always somebody gonna get you an answer. Nobody questions gets an answer. Everybody questions get an answer.
Tell you guys, I came here on a whim to Brazil, all because Russ is like, "Hey nephew, go check out Brazil." And I know he's never given me any advice to see Russ. So I'm like, I'm gonna go check out Brazil. Never been here. Now look at me. Oh yeah,
Man, that was the biggest.
It helps to listen to those who've done it before you, and it helps listen to the OGs also. So, gentlemen, we have all been living in Latin America. It's safe to say that none of you guys here have looked back.
Oh hell no!
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. That was like to answer your question that you gave to Russ. That was one of my biggest things holding me back, to be honest, because it wasn't just me moving. It was me and my mother moving, right? So that was one of the biggest things holding me back was family. Like, man, family, like, oh, you're gonna take our grandmother, you're gonna take our mom, you're gonna take this, because that's when everybody gets super concerned when it's no longer gonna be convenient for them, right? That's where. But like Brother Russ said, go ahead and start a YouTube channel. Go ahead and start a business, like Brother Dre said, and see how many of your people that you so-called care about gonna support you. Here you are pausing your whole damn life that can catapult you into a whole nother direction, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, and not making the transition to another country because of the people that won't even hit the damn like button on your Instagram. That shit is crazy to me. So I'm gonna tell y'all that I don't know what I hear, because I don't really do the consultation stuff, because I don't got the patience for that stuff, because some of the shit people be saying and asking just be way left field. So I'm just gonna tell you, my biggest thing was hey, y'all know I got the what you call it in the system, so no filter. But
listen, some of you guys on YouTube have scarred Jorge. You want to know why Jorge hasn't been on any lives recently? It's because of you guys. He's like, listen, child, I can't do the therapy sessions. I can't do the super chat stupidities. I can't do none of it. I'm taking a break. Some of you guys have scarred the man with that matrix.
So I can answer for myself. It was the family, the family situation. I'm thinking about that. But here go what I would tell most people. I'm not a dude. I'm not like rich. I don't come from money. I come from a single family household. I come from bankruptcies. I come from foreclosures. I come from eviction notices, right? I come from all that. You know what I'm saying? I come from the dessert was, I don't know about if y'all had to do this, bread with syrup on it. That was like,
you had the syrup. I had the sugar. I couldn't afford the syrup.
Yeah, you guys had bread.
Syrup meant that you had peanut. That you had you can make pancakes.
Man,
so we can do the pancakes. We can get syrup. So we took the sugar, make the sugar
poured it
sandwich,
on
man,
there.
smash it down real hot. Smash that sugar sandwich down. You good,
man. So that's what I come from, yo. I come from my mom working 3 jobs, minimum wage jobs, not speaking no English in the States, living in Maryland, which is high as shit for cost of living. She was afraid to get food stamps in Section 8 because she thought that she would lose whatever residency that she had over that joint. So that's where I come from. And I'm 38 years old. And I thought that I was walking away from everything in the States. My house, my cars. I got man, let me tell you something. I was married, and you could probably borrow my wife before you borrow my 300 ZX twin turbo T-top. People that know me know that joker, the tires don't even touch the ground. Matter of fact, the whole time I was in DR for the first year, I didn't even sell it. My boy will call me every 2 weeks. Bruh, you're not coming back. You're not coming back. Let me turn on the car. Okay, go ahead. Turn on the car, yo. Go ahead, take it for a spin. Let me get the car. No. Yo, we like 12 months in, a year and a couple months in, I was like, all right, go ahead, send me the money, man. Send me the money. He hung up like, all right, bye, I'll talk to you later. Then he called me back. You said that you gonna sell it to me? I was like, yeah, I said, send me the damn money. Right? So I gave up all that stuff, and I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to do this for the better grade of my mom or whatever the case may be. And I'm thinking I'm taking an L. When I actually moved here and see what it did to my finances, like not for nothing, for me, and I'm taking care of my mom here, my finances is shooting. Like I'm saving $2,500 a month. And this is a dude that's 38 years old. And like we was talking us three before we started the live about the VA and disability and all that stuff.
Increase.
VA is about to go up 10.5%. Social Security about to go to 10.5%. That's $300 increase. A $300 can get you, just the increase alone can get you a damn apartment, a nice apartment in the Dominican Republic. Just the damn increase. Bro, you can file. I'm not no attorney, but I seen somebody that did it. You can be up to your fucking neck in bills, debt, problems, stressed the hell out, not getting no sleep. And you can file bankruptcy in the States tomorrow. If you want 100% disability from the military, or if you getting 100% Social Security, well, I don't know what the Social Security is, or if you getting a regular pension, retirement, something over, a decent amount, but I know damn sure no military vet making 100% disability should be struggling in the States, where that check is $3,400 tax-free, and it's about to get another $300. You can file bankruptcy, give all that shit back to your creditors, and move to the DR and live like a damn king. And that is a fact. And this is coming from a dude, like I said, foreclosures, bankruptcy, evictions, you know what I'm saying? So this ain't coming from no dude, oh, he don't know what he talking about. No, I guarantee you can do it. That's just my two cents.
It's kind of funny for me. The two groups that I don't see why they still live in the United States are those that on Social Security and those military. It's so easy. You guys are the easiest ones to get visas in most countries in the world. It's so easy for you to just plant a flag and you there. You ain't never got to touch the United States again. I don't know. Those two groups, I do not. I would. Dudes are sitting right. Shout out to my military brothers and you brothers, that all you guys that were military. You're in the States right now, and you got to sit back and you got to go for meetings because of mental issues, because you dealt with some things. And I got you on that, brothers. You can have those same meetings in DR with some brothers sitting around drinking some Presidentes and talking over your issues. Now, what would you rather have? Be locked in New York, Ratfield, New York, and all that bad weather and bad attitudes, and do your meeting with your fellow brothers in the military, or would you rather be on the beaches of DR on a Sunday with a Presidente in your hand, talking to your fellow military brothers and sisters? You're gonna talk to military brothers and sisters anyway, so you might as well be in the place where you want to be with people that are like-minded anyway. Amen. So why? And you get a bang for your buck. Plus, they just passed a bill yesterday for those individuals that are in the military that got hurt in regards to the man, I'm forgetting the name of the bill, man. I was following this bill too.
The station where they burn.
Yeah, the burn. They just passed that so brothers can get that money.
I can't get it.
Like the PAC bill or something. I forgot. It just passed yesterday because you had so many people such as comedian Jon Stewart and a lot of other people just rallied. You had the people sleeping on top of the Capitol stairs until they got this bill passed. They passed it in June, in July, and then all of a sudden the Republicans said, we ain't passing it last week. Man, they got so many calls to the White House like, what are you doing? And they passed that bill yesterday, last night, man. All they waiting for is the president to sign it now. So now there's more benefits coming. Also, for those that are on Social Security, I'm just justifying my point. You guys are looking at it was at 8.6% cost of living adjustment for 2023 coming. They do the cost of living adjustment calculations through July, August, September. They make the announcement every year on my birthday, October 13th. That's why I know when the announcement for the 2023 or the following year cost of living adjustment is going to come through. This year, they're not only saying that in June, they were saying that it was going to be 8.9%. That's already up from the 5.9 that you got last year being on Social Security. Then they went up and said 10.5%. Now they're saying by the time September is done with this recession that you're dealing with in the United States, 11.1%. But I'm not done. They're also saying that Medicare Part B, because of last year was the highest increase of Medicare payments or premiums in the last 20, 30 years. But that was because they had put in their bill a certain amount they put to the side of the kitty for Alzheimer's. So they've been working on a pill to try to, and they found one. So they put that money to the side to try to help people. But it caused an increase last year for 2022 for people that were paying your Part B, your Part D premiums. This year, they found out that the cost is not as much for that particular pill. So now they found out it's half the price. You're going to get a discount in 2023, those of you that are on Social Security, for your Medicare. They're saying the average Social Security recipient is going to get a $31 decrease in your Medicare monthly payments that you're paying right now. So now you're going to get that money. So you multiply that by 12 months. That's an apartment in DR. That's an apartment in Colombia, 1-bedroom, just from what you just saved in Medicare. Not including that 11.1% of cost of living adjustment that you're going to get on top of your Social Security. I do not get it why people on Social Security still in the States and you struggling when all you got to do is just cross somebody's border. Somebody's
jobs, still working.
The value of your money is going to escalate. It's just people on Social Security don't even have to play the lottery. Crossing a border is the winning of the lottery.
Yep.
Jorge says that all the time. Let me get to some of these comments real quick. Ross says in America, people use drugs to relieve their mind. If the DR less or no stress, same as Colombia. Jay, question for you. Mr. Wolf asks, Andre, why do you think Cali is the best city in Colombia, in your opinion? Let's come back to that. Let's finish up these comments. Miss Felicia, live stream queen, aka one of the pillar moderators on YouTube. Shout out to you. Thank you for
what's up, Miss Felicia?
Hey, Miss Felicia.
Hey, that's Russell's future ex-wife. Sean says Jorge sounds just like Paige Kennedy. I think of myself too. He says, I just saw a report on ABC Monday. Evictions have gone up all over the U.S. A lot of people can't afford rent. I've seen something crazy where there in New York, there's tons of empty apartments now that either people got kicked out of or they decided to leave the state altogether. I mean, imagine paying $2,500 for 40 square feet, for 40 meters of apartment, for a little apartment. I don't know if you guys, I know Russ is from New York. I don't know if Dre and Jorge, if you guys has ever been in a studio in New York, the studio apartments, you could literally stand on top of your mattress and from your mattress into the toilet.
Yo, that shit is crazy to me.
That's how small these apartments are, and they're over here charging $2,500, $2,800, $3,000 for a little box. Man, it's
people paying it.
You know, it's crazy to me, like what Dre was saying, vets and people on Social Security working second jobs to hold on or still struggling on shit that's not theirs. One thing that we have to understand in the States, yo, I don't give a damn who you are. Like Dre said in the beginning, you could be making 200, you could be making 300. And Dre said this before, and Telemae said this in his lives before too. For you to live the type of life that we live here in the States, have somebody cook, clean for you, do this, do that, you have to be making some serious cash. We've all lived in the States. That's number one. Number two, that apartment that Taylor made and the land and the building that Dre getting, Once they own that shit, that's theirs. My house, once that shit paid for in Maryland, I still got to pay property taxes. If them property taxes ain't paid, the state of Maryland is taking that house back and they gonna auction it off. But 9 times out of 10 in the States, we don't own shit. We're renting a lifestyle. So a lot of people's biggest fear be like, oh, but I'm gonna get rid of my house. You still owe 15 years or 10 years on that damn house. It's not yours. Or the card. If the card isn't zero balance, it is not yours. If the house isn't zero balance, it is not yours. If you can't afford, most people, even if you get to pay the house off, which most people don't in the States, I guarantee they don't. Dre probably know better statistically, but most people don't even get to pay it. But even if you are fortunate enough to pay it, if you can't keep up with the maintenance, because obviously with age comes more maintenance. A roof costs $10,000, $20,000. AC unit. I just put an AC unit in my house back in the state. That's $8,000. Floor, this,
not including the landscaping.
So if you can't afford the maintenance and the taxes when you're in your senior age, guess what? That house is not yours. So you're fighting and killing yourself and struggling in the States when you could just say, you know what? And start brand new in another country. I know a guy here, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's at our vet center. This guy, yo, he's the one that filed the bankruptcy. This guy, he said, yo, he was going through a divorce. His wife cheated on him, left him. Car got repossessed, all sorts of shit. His brother paid for his flight to come to Santo Domingo for a wedding because he was just like on the board of suicidal. He was a veteran, 100% disabled, still working a full-time job over that joint, right? So, and still struggling financially.
Wow.
Man, he said when his brother brought him over here, he seen a new light, walked away from everything, and just said, you know what? On the first I get paid, and that's when my life is going to start. This guy now he's been here for 18 months, almost 2 years. He got an apartment in Punta Cana, and he got a timeshare at Lifestyles off of that.
So are you saying that for those guys, who have the means to pay and not have to clock in and are paying that house off or that car, are you saying that they should just say, screw it, leave it behind, go somewhere else to start new?
I'm saying that if you're struggling and life ain't like Telemay said, you've been doing something for 10 years, 15 years, and it ain't working, bro, the easiest thing you could do is change the playing field. Try a new scenery. If you're in a situation where you're getting a guaranteed government check that's a certain amount of money, like a veteran, like Dre said, a veteran, you're making over $3,400 tax-free. Bro, if you cannot make it and live comfortable in the Dominican Republic with $3,400, you have a serious problem and you need to come talk to me personally. You need to come talk to me.
Is that you offering consultations?
I'm not doing no shit over the phone. I'm not doing none of that stuff. You need to sit down, buy me lunch, and come talk to me personally. We need to sit down and write your budget, all that shit out, because you are doing something terribly wrong if you're going through $3,400 a month and is stressed out in the Dominican Republic. You are doing something tremendously wrong.
Hey, let's just chime in, man. I don't want to lose the with the VA. If you're getting 100% with the VA, you can also file for your Social Security disability and use the same evidence that you use for your VA disability. You use the same evidence for your Social Security disability. Now, here's another caveat. Let's say you work for the government. You can file for your VA disability, get that, your Social Security disability, get that, and federal disability, whether you got the 20 years or don't, and get that as well. Because I know some cats down there, killing it 3 ways. They're getting VA, Social Security, and federal disability. And you can use the same evidence.
And
Know exactly your benefits, know what you can do. Like I said, it's not a one size fits all. This is just general information that we're trying to share with you. Secondly, I'm gonna tell you, I'm listening to my man Jorge. I believe this. If you are horrible with your finances in the US, you're gonna be horrible with your finances here in DR too. If you fucked up your finances in the US, you're gonna come down here and fuck them up too. There's some Americans down here that are broke all the goddamn time. Broke. Some Americans, man, they got 1 or 2 homeless Americans. I'm just fucking up their money, drinking it up, drugging it up, whatever. You just have to be ready, mentally committed, focused to living your best life. But if you horrible with finances in the U.S., trust me, getting on the plane coming here is not going to make you financially magical on point. It just won't do it.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. We got Americans down here that try to hustle other Americans when they get down here because they've gone broke. They've gone broke, and so now they try to hustle you just like a Colombian would try to. You can understand a Colombian doing it, but you got a dude from the States just trying to hustle you. You're like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. And so at the end of the day, Russ is absolutely correct. The common denominator in all this is going to be you. No matter what country you go to, no matter where you go, no matter somebody could get this. Okay. And it ain't even about the money, because I'll tell you what, I'll give you a perfect example. Lottery winners. Statistically, the average lottery winner goes broke within the first 5 years. And I mean, all of it's gone. Over 80+% of lottery winners lose all of it, from the ones that won 100 million to the ones that won 100,000. Over 80% of them go broke. Why is that? Because the common denominator still exists. That person who couldn't be responsible when they bought the ticket is the same person that was irresponsible after they won with the ticket. So don't just think that you can come down to these countries. I could take this extra money because it takes me $1,000 to live in. Now I'm sounding like Russ, don't I? I'm taking $1,000, put it off in there. So I gotta come back to Andre mode. Take $1,000, you spend your money. But now you're feeling like I got 2,400 that I can blow. No, you don't. And so all of a sudden you be irresponsible, and the next thing you know, every month you're being irresponsible. And all of a sudden you find yourself in another country robbing Peter to pay Paul. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, do realize you are going to have the beauty. But that's the beauty of when you move to a new location, you get a chance to walk through the process of redefining yourself. But I'm going to tell you where that redefinition starts. And I think all these men can attest to. The redefinition of ourselves started when we were in the States, making those little sacrifices. When y'all was looking at us crazy, but we were still doing it. That's building up a confidence, because you ain't got nobody on your team. So that's redefining ourselves. The sacrifices that we made. I remember I'm walking through, I'll never forget this. I was walking through the mall, and the first LeBrons came out. $300. And I grabbed the shoe and I looked at it. And I told myself, I said, do you know, and I just got this apartment. I said, do you know this one shoe, I could pay my rent in a month? If I was dumb enough to buy this shoe, that's like Andre, that's a month's rent that you got to find another outlet to pay for these pair of shoes that mean nothing to you. Yep. This is Adidas country. What you wearing LeBrons for? They wouldn't recognize them anyway. Your Yeezys, they ain't gonna recognize them. You find yourself having to make these sacrifices. So a new you starts to develop. That's my point. A new you starts to define yourself, and you become a whole new person. So by the time you move to DR, Colombia, Italy, wherever you go to, Portugal, zooming in Thailand, you are a brand new person. But a lot of y'all are so comfortable with the old you. I know it feels good. I know it feels good to be the old you. You've been the old you. Some of y'all been the old irresponsible you, the old fear-filled you, the old I'm scared to change life, the old distracted you for 25, 30, 40 years. You don't know nothing else. Your mama was distracted. Your daddy was distracted. Grandma was distracted. Everybody was distracted by the United States. That's the number one thing. The number one selling commodity in the United States are distractions. Everything from buying shoes that you ain't got no business buying cars that you, like Jorge said, I held on to that car and I'm thinking like, wow, I had my nice little convertible, everything, and I got rid of that month so fast. You got to go. You got to. I don't need you. I got rid of that. But because we are distracted by nostalgia, oh, this car got history and I got history with the car. Oh man, we all go through that. But that goes to show that in order to accomplish all that he accomplished for him and his mother, sacrifices have to be made. And some of you dudes do not, and some of you ladies have to realize sacrifice is going to have to be made. Somebody's going to leave. When you leave, somebody going to be hurt. And it might just be you. And you got to be willing to have that sacrifice. You're going to have to be sad getting on that plane saying, man, I'm going to miss my grandkids, but I'll be back in 6 months to see them. Yep. Some of y'all going to have to sit back and say, you know what? Sell the car, bro. Go. Some of y'all going to have to say, me, I had to say no to certain people that I was cool with or close with or relationships that I thought was going to be. I had to say no. That's not it. And then I end up like granted me Andrea. So my point in saying that is, guys, the number one thing that we're trying to get through your mind is if you're going to do this, it's not going to be easy. Sacrifices are going to have to be made. Shout out to Teddy when he sat back and said, you know, I was about to buy 30,000, about to take 30,000, put it on a watch. A watch. They have programmed you enough to put it on a watch. And I'm gonna tell you something, Teddy. When you said that, brother, I thought about congratulations to Teddy, because that exact same watch, I guarantee you, is in another country. That same watch with the same ticket and the same makeup is in another country at a fraction of that price. That's the part that you guys aren't seeing. You are being kind in the United States and programmed the United States to think if I pay more, it's worth more. No, you go to another country and they'll tell you that same watch, oh, you can buy it for $500. No, that's got to be fake. That can't be real. That can't be real. This is $500. Something wrong. No, it's the same. It's the exact same watch. Yeah, like Andrea always says with gold. She said the gold here in Colombia, because of Colombian Peru and this, the gold mines here, you get to 14% in the United States. They get the 24 karat and they pay a fraction of the price for the same Cartier bracelets, the same watches, the same everything. You are being programmed to be tricked to purchase things and think that because they're higher prices, you think that it's a higher quality. And once you leave the United States, you realize, man, they lied to me. They lied, brothers, sisters, I'm telling you, you got lied to. And that one I'll take to the grave.
Yeah, I don't think I spent 30,000 all year last year.
It says my cousin in Seattle won $5 million in the lottery. Today he is broke.
I'm not surprised. Statistically said he's going to be broke.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Yoso Kyle. We were just talking about you. Feel free to jump in whatever you want. Teddy KGB with the super chat. Give us that work, Drake. Thank you. So, gentlemen, funny that you guys brought up this topic, but before I bring up my next question, I want to put emphasis on what Russ said earlier. Veterans who are 100% disabled, doesn't matter what your age is, you can apply for Social Security. I am living testament of hearing that information from Russ. Went out, got myself a lawyer, didn't have to pay. Social Security lawyers will not charge you. Example, my lawyer only collected from what I wanted in back pay. I didn't have to pay nothing. They used their files from the VA or any other doctor that could give notes that'll help your case, but always start off with a lawyer. Social Security does not discriminate. Well, they do discriminate by age, but if you have your paperwork in order, your doctor's notes, it can't happen. So, gentlemen, my next question for you is being a half pat. And a half pat, when I say half pat, I think of Kings and Juniors because, he does the half in the States, half in Colombia. Is being a half pat better than a no pat? And a no pat is that person that has aspirations of being an expat, but they're like, I'm just gonna wait until retirement. What say you, gentlemen, about that?
I think being
I say,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say absolutely being a half pass better being no pass. Shit, at least you experience it and setting yourself and you're not just imagining, you actually living it. And like I said, it's never a one size fits all. You have some brothers who, like Ace, travel around the world. He doesn't have a permanent address besides his mother house in Florida. You know, you got people who they'll spend 3 months in Brazil. They'll spend another 3 months in Dominican Republic, another in Thailand, so it's not a one size fits all. I think the point to what we're trying to tell you is to get that passport and at least explore your opportunities. Know that people are living outside the U.S. They're living their best lives at all age groups. And just experience freedom, what real freedom feels like. So that's my take on that.
Yeah. I go ahead, Ray.
No, go ahead.
In my case, I believe that most of us started off as half packs. Because, for example, we got this apartment. The lady told us that I want to wait till April. You know what I was saying? Like the United States man said, I'm pushing stuff back. And she said, if you wait, it won't be here in April. She said, this apartment in this neighborhood at this price, she said, it'll be gone. She said, it'll be gone in a couple of days. And so I got it in January. I wasn't scheduled to live here in Colombia until full time until after Thanksgiving. So basically that whole time, Andre and I getting furniture, we're doing this, we're doing that, but I'm a half pack. I'm still in the States working. I'm still in the States doing like everybody else, just doing as if I didn't even know Colombia existed. That's half pack. Russ's first channel was based about him being half pack. He was still living in the States, taking care of business, still taking care of business in DR, and slowly but surely, methodically taking the steps. And then he became full-time. So half pat is basically the journey that most of us take. And half pat is so economical because you like, man, I could pay $300 for an apartment in Colombia or in DR as long as I don't go ahead and go out to the club 4 days a week like I used to. Some dudes are paying for their lifestyle just based off of I ain't clubbing no more. I used to buy $50 cigars. I ain't buying them no more. I might be buying the $20 cigars. Or I used to buy the $100 cigars. Now I'm only buying the $30 cigars, whatever it may be. But some of you guys are like, $30, I'm only used to this. Well, you be you, brother, however you want to do it. What I'm saying is most of us that do this journey, like Russ says, one size doesn't fit all. But the one thing that I can say that's a common denominator among most of us, even with Ace and his travels, because he went back and forth from the States and then he finally stayed out of the States. Most of us have a journey of half pack.
Yep. I agree with both of you 100%. Because I was there too. I just started cutting off. Okay, you know what? I'm not going. The number one thing that I cut off was dating in the States. I was like, you know what? Going out on these dates, smashing, doing this, doing that, you know what I'm saying? It adds up. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather just work 3 or 4 weeks heavy with my truck and then just go ahead and take a week off and go come over here to the DR, have way more fun for a fraction of the price. But since I knew I was going to transition, now it was more recon. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I was coming to DR just to smash everything moving. Like, nah, I wasn't moving like that. I was like, okay, I'm coming to DR to see what's what, build relationships and have fun at the same time. But and that worked for me for probably like a few months. I did that and saved a lot of money. Then, after my mom got sick, I really transitioned into, okay, everything's fine. Yeah, I 100% agree with y'all. Being half better than none is 10 times better.
Way better.
Because once you experience it. It's like it's something that most people can't even explain. Once you experience the value you have in another country, right? The value that you can bring to the table as far as financially, like I said from the beginning, my financial situation wasn't the best in the States, right? A lot of, if you're not making over a certain amount, you're just an average Joe. Now, you might not feel like an average Joe, but your financial situation, nobody's gonna kid ourselves and be like, oh, it doesn't matter in the States. It does, you know what I'm saying? But once you move, you automatically catapult yourself to a higher standard of life.
True.
You know, so that alone, now you have time to actually sit the hell down and, you know, watch the games, or sit the hell down and go enjoy a baseball game, or go down to the beach. Some people live close to the beach in the States and they can't even enjoy it.
Take it from a Tampa dude. Beach was right down the street in St. Pete all the time. And I probably went to the beach, man, I kid you not, maybe twice a year. Maybe
Yep.
twice a year, I kid you not. And I mean, the beach was no more than a 10-minute drive from us.
And we working overtime, we working second jobs, we doing Uber on the side. And there's a dude here in DR or in Colombia, he a damn barber making $400 a month, and he takes off every Sunday with his family to the beach and go eat and go to Pizza Hut to have pizza with his kids and
go on the Malecon.
Kids, you know, and that joke only make $400 a month, $500 a month. Here we are working 2-3 jobs in the damn States. Like, it's like you said, everything closes at a certain time. Most in these countries, they have a more better quality of life. We have more money, yes, but they have a real quality of life. And once you experience that, it's just going to trigger something that you just going to be like, yo, all right, I see what they talking about. I got to go. So that being a half hat is definitely better than a
So,
yeah.
So how did you gentlemen choose, you know, for guys watching right now, I hope you're watching this video after, how did you guys choose where in Latin America to go to?
Well, I actually saw Jabril's video on Medellin. And, you know, me being a numbers guy, when he put that list up comparing Medellin cost of living and just enjoying himself to New York, I didn't believe it was real. I never knew that type of you could. And I'm looking at the place that he's got, and I'm looking at the city that he's in. It looks like any other major city in the United States, and I'm looking like, this can't be real. This dude said he paid for this, that, and this for 6 months at this place, and I'm like, for a 6-bedroom and and you know, the penthouse, and then I'm looking at the New York prices for a meal and hanging out. He was like, man, I would have go. He said, I did that one time, you know, splurging in New York. He said, man, my credit card was hurting. And so when I saw Jabril's video, it actually hit me. And then I will start following Russ with his journey, and I started following Ace and their journey. But what really hit me, and that goes back to answer the question why the guy said I chose Cali. For me, Cali is the third largest city in Colombia. Not that many tourists. We get few of them, but not that many. So I ain't got to be around y'all trying to mess them stuff up. People are still organic. The women here still are just regular Colombian women. They're not tarnished like the women in Medellin. Shout out to Medellin. Because so many Americans and foreigners go there, the ladies got the ego thing going, like the stateside women do to a certain extent. But in certain areas of the country, most of the country, women are still very humble, down to earth, very feminine. But what got me is he's in the stream right now was Let's Learn Spanish. When Ace interviewed Let's Learn Spanish TV, and I never forget this. The brother said I paid $250, I think it was like $250, $275 for his 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Shout out the main Let's Learn Spanish, and he was here in Cali. He was the only one. No brothers was talking about Cali. He was the only one that Ace interviewed, and even Ace couldn't believe the price. He said, "Well, you must live in a bad neighborhood." And Ace was like, and I remember the main saying, "No." He said, I got a bedroom, a bathroom right here. I got a bedroom, bathroom over here. I stay in Stralis 5, blah, 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 blah. And anybody that know Colombia, each city is broken down into zones. The highest one is 6. The lowest one is 1. He's in 5 for $200 and something a month. And I remember my brain could not compute that. I couldn't, and I never thought that my brain would. It's almost like my brain just locked. Like, but that ain't real. That's not real. Yep. It's got to be something. It's always because he in that point. Then when I live here now, and I'm seeing all the stuff that I could get in the States over here, and I'm like, ain't this about it? Now I understood the man and why he made that journey here to Cali, Colombia. And if it wasn't for him in that interview, and individuals like Russ and Ace, but Jabril in that video about Medellin, I wouldn't have chose here. And I had traveled to many other countries, but this one was the one that sold me because of that.
What about you, Russ?
For me, I had connections with Dominican Republic, especially due to my eldest daughter, Solange, who passed away here. So, I always wanted to, after I retired, because I knew I was moving overseas, but I thought it would be Panama. But after my daughter, my thinking was moving to DR to spend as much time as I can with my daughter. Even though she had plans on going to the States after her 21st birthday. But then, she passed away, unfortunately, almost 9 years ago. And, my heart's still with Sosua, man. I'm still with Dominican Republic. And I took a flight to Sosua because I heard so much about it. And when I got here, man, it was like re-energized. I mean, man, I felt like LeBron, Michael Jackson rolled up in the one, man. I thought I was the thing. Yeah, because back in the day, man, you walk off the plane, the women make you feel all good, man. I'm telling you, brother, that Me Too movement, they should have a Me Men movement, man, because you couldn't walk from one corner to the next corner without your junk getting grabbed 5-6 times in the street, and you just kind of got used to it. You know what I'm saying? You felt like a piece of meat. I was so embarrassed. But yeah, man. So I mean, my story. I came on a Wednesday and Friday. I brought my condo because I knew I would be back here. I said that was it, man. Just the love. Even if it was for pay to play, Brad, it was just the love. And then after my second trip, it wasn't even the women that brought me back to Sosua. It was the men, the camaraderie, the conversations I was having with these brothers, the mindset of some of these brothers, man. It was crazy, man. You talk to somebody, man, and you sit down talking to them for 2-3 hours like y'all grew up together. It was the guys, man, that kept me coming back, man, getting around like-minded people, getting around people who, just wanted to enjoy themselves, have fun, leave all the bullshit back in the matrix. And I'm gonna tell you, I was sold after that, brother. So, after I invested in that real estate, that was it. It's home now. But I still may, I'm thinking for 2023 that I'm gonna live outside of DR for at least 3 to 4 months of the year. Right now, staying here 12 months of the year isn't really working for me. So I'm gonna still keep my base and all that good shit, but I can see myself at least 3 months of the year living outside of DR. DR is my home. I gotta do 9 months here because at least with my daughter. But yeah, man. So your plans change. So even if you have one particular spot that you want to live in, later on, man, this is a big world, especially if you're a traveler. And enjoying your passport and an option doesn't mean to find one place, all right, you settle there your whole life. No, it means enjoying all of your options. So like yourself, you lived here in DR, then you say, all right, DR too small for me for what I'm trying to do. I'm going to go to Brazil. Me and Drake talked about it. I don't know if he put out his business. I'm not going to put it out, but me and Drake
put it out there, yeah.
Yeah, so Dre, you know, him and his beautiful model. I gotta say wife. I never called Dre his wife. I called Andre his wife.
She was just here too. She just couldn't be live stream. So yeah.
But look, me and Dre are like that, all right? So don't nobody think, because I already hear the trolls that I'm disrespecting him and his wife. Dre knows that the place I come from with him and his wife is nothing but a place of love. And I call her tomorrow. She be I like, where the model at? So
Love it.
so yeah, man. But they're getting ready to venture out and do some other things. There's nothing wrong with staying here if this is what you want to do. But there's nothing wrong if you want to try somewhere else for 3 months of the year or whatever, man. It's a big world, and you only got one time to go around. Life ain't a dress rehearsal. Once the fat lady sing, brother, it's over.
That's it.
That's it.
You know what you reminded me of, Russ, when you made that statement? I remember when I was working in a nursing home when I first got out the feds. I'm like 22, 20. I'm 32, 33 years old. And my first little job was in a nursing home. And so I was the dude that delivered food to all the floors. And then when they got done eating, I came and got the trays and took them back to the dietary area, because that's where I worked. And I never remember, I used to go in on Saturdays, and I would see all the older people with crutches, people with walkers, people with wheelchairs, and they'd be all out front. And I'd be like, oh man, it's nice. They're about to go out on a day trip, like to the mall or to a park or something cool. And one day I walked in and spoke to the secretary coming in that was at the front desk when you first walk into the nursing home. I was like, hey, where everybody going today? What trip they going on? She said, Andre, what are you talking about? I said, they're here every Saturday. I said, everybody's standing out every Saturday. I said, they're going on a field trip. I see the vans out there. She said, no, those vans are for the emergency, or if they're really going to do something. She said, but no, let me tell you what's going on. She said, every Saturday in this nursing home and the nursing homes across the country, people who have dropped their family members off in the nursing home and never came back to see them. These are the people that come out here on visitation day, hoping that one family member or friend will come visit them in the nursing home. She said, this happens every Saturday. She said, I've been working in nursing homes across the country. She said, in every nursing home, every Saturday is like this. She said, you can't get through the door. She said, nobody's going to come see these people because families in the United States, they abandon their loved ones. You guys are going to continue. My point in closing this is, I realize in working in a nursing home, there's only two things in the nursing home. The two most things that are in a nursing home: old people and regret. And there is far more regret in a nursing home than old people.
What about you, Jorge, to finish up that question?
So why I chose the DR? I mean,
how did you choose where in Latin America to go to?
I mean, it was a little no-brainer for me because obviously my mom is half Dominican, so it was easy, getting my cedula, getting everything legal. She's from here, so that was easy. But I mean, even if that wasn't the case, DR would probably been it for me too, because DR is convenient. You can get to the States in a matter of hours. You don't have to marry or do nothing wild and crazy.
What you mean by married? Why would one get married or do something crazy in the DR?
You don't have to marry or do nothing wild and crazy in order to own, do business, rent, or put anything in your name. The most that you're going to have to do is pay a little BS exit fee if you stay. So for me, that alone would sell me to a place like DR. You know what I'm saying? Dre got married, is everything worked out. But me personally, I don't think that you got married just to stay there. You got married because you found the person correct for you. There's nothing in this world that, some dudes, they do that in Thailand to get married so that they can stay or they can buy property. Jorge ain't doing none of that. Jorge, the way Jorge's set up, nah. I live off of I don't put people in situations to do me dirty. So that ain't gonna happen. I'm not marrying nobody to stay in nobody country or none of that stuff. So DR was right for me. Another thing that made DR right for me, I like my chances anywhere I can go where Russ said this on his live before. He said the quickest way to be a millionaire is move to DR. You remember that video, Russ? Your money multiplies like this. I like my chances anywhere I can go, and my money multiplies 54 times. I like my chances. I like my chances where the cost of living is $500 a month for the average person. I like my chances. So for me, I'm like, it works. Cost of living is good, the climate is good, the food is good, the culture is good, nice beaches, and it's convenient. If my brother has an emergency, I could be there in a couple hours. There's always flights leaving from Santo Domingo, always flights leaving for Puerto Plata. I can be there in a matter of hours. So that's what DR was the go-to for me. But like they both said, my thing is I'm never moving back to the States, right? So it's like both of them said, this could be your home base. This is be my home base because it's still cheaper than me paying rent or mortgage in Maryland. My mortgage is there $2,000 something dollars in Maryland. So if my home base is here and my rent or my mortgage here is only $500, $400 a month, I'm still saving $1,500 to $2,000 that I can use to travel, like Brother Russ said, or like Dre said, he going to Portugal with all the money that you save from living here. So for me, I'm not saying that I'm always going to stay in DR. I'm going to travel also, and I want to do all those things. But right now, I can't do that, obviously, for my mother, because of my mother. But yeah, this is going to be home based, but I'm definitely going to see the world, thankfully, to the opportunity that me living here gave me.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Teddy KGB for the Tuesday. He says, to all the gentlemen, in an ideal world, what would your life look like 10 years from now?
Well, my daughter be 10, so me, man, just enjoying fatherhood. Probably be like I said, still living outside of DR. At least 3 months of the year because I just love Asia. So Thailand, Philippines. I want to do some of that. I definitely want to do at least 30 days of the year in Brazil. So for me, man, life is going to look pretty much the same here now, except I'm 10 years older with the 10-year-old asking me for every goddamn thing she could see on Amazon. So that's likely for me next year.
Yeah, for us, we're looking at we're working towards living outside of Colombia, but still owning property here. 10 years, I get a chance we're looking to hopefully have with God's blessing, 2 children. And one of the things I'm looking forward, this is my first time announcing this, and I know Andrew's going to hear it too. With my wife being younger, I'm looking forward to seeing her walk in her full womanhood. You know how when women have a certain, she in her 20s, but when women have that look about them and their features kind of change once they hit 35, 40, that woman, and you get a chance to see a woman. I'm looking forward to seeing I thought about this years ago. I'm looking forward to seeing my wife in her develop into all the woman that she's going to be in the next 10 years. So I'm looking forward to the family development, the economic development, our spiritual development. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what happens in the lives of all the other people that we've influenced over the next 10 years when it comes to travel and becoming either a part-time expat or full-time expat. That's what my Shangri-La would look like.
Hey, we could just I'm not gonna answer that question because to be honest, man, I just be trying to take it day by day. I don't even look that far. I wish I could just stop on time. I see we got Yoso Kayla. We could just go to that. Hey, Teddy, me and you talk offline, so I'm not even gonna answer that question though.
Kyla, buenas noches. Where are you now? La Vega, Jarabacoa, Santo Domingo. Where are you now?
Buenas noches a todos. Estoy en La Vega ahora.
Okay, so everybody, this is to prove to you that men don't just do it too. Ladies do it too. Like Jay-Z said, ladies can do it too. Go on, brush your shoulders off. Kyla moved from the States to the Dominican Republic, female expat. Kyla, how long have you been living abroad?
Not that long. I've been back and forth, but because my son, he just graduated in May, so I'm officially here for good. So I was just waiting for that time, but I was back and forth every 3 months, coming back and forth from the US to DR. So I'm settled in officially here now.
Okay, well, congratulations. Have you looked back?
Thank you. Sorry, have I looked back? No, absolutely not. No, not at all. Not at all. There's some things I miss, but not miss as far to say goodbye and return back to the States. No, I wasn't living there for that long anyway. I had only lived in the States for 4 years of my life. So that 4 years, I think, was like the worst 4 years of my life that I don't want to experience ever again. Just a culture shock again from Europe, being raised in Europe, to coming back from the States. So, I mean, if I didn't know,
I got a question for you, Kayla. Not to cut you short, but I want to stay on topic with that for a second. Because we're looking to move to Europe, and I was thinking, our children will be raised in Europe, and then if they desire, because we'll be going back and forth for family, but if they desire to move to the United States from Europe, what were some of the culture shocks that you noticed? Just name maybe one or two or three.
The culture shock of me leaving Europe and coming to the United States?
Yes.
Definitely just the friendliness of people. Just the friendliness, because just like people here, in Latin America say good morning, good afternoon, it's the same in England. I mean, I've lived in Italy, I've lived in England, and I've lived in Germany. And people are just so friendly, like so friendly. That's all I know. That's all I know how to be. So that's the first thing I noticed when I got to the United States. When I got to the United States in 2016, the first thing I noticed is just that people are just not friendly. You go to the store, the cashier who's ringing up your food, you're like, oh, good morning, good afternoon, whatever. And they don't even speak sometimes. It's like, and I was on a military base. So the military community was very close-knit overseas. Not in Italy, I lived off base. And in Germany, I lived off base. So I was surrounded by like the Italians in Italy. And in Germany, I lived in a German, it was just Germans around. Like a lot of German people didn't speak English, but they were just so friendly. They tried, but it was just the friendliness of everybody compared to when I went to the States. Like that's the first thing. And the racism, I have to say. Let me point that out too. The racism. Yes. So Europe, yeah.
Okay. No, finish up, Dre. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just saying Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. And she was the first person I've heard I've seen other women on YouTube say about the reminder of racism is more potent in the United States. In the United States, every day you're reminded that you're black. It's always you're reminded. You never get to tune as soon as you wake up. You're a black man, you're a black woman, you're a black man, you're black. Black people reminded you, white people reminded you, society, government, business, everything's constantly reminded. And the young ladies these were two young ladies from the UK, and they were like, we understand race issues and things like that. They say, but in the UK, you're not even reminded all day long. Black, white. Latin. They say the United States just punches it in you all day long, where you don't even get to enjoy being black because you're being reminded of being black so much. And I won't lie. Being outside the United States has actually allowed me to just have moments to breathe as a black man, because ain't nobody just reminded me all day. And when dudes put black stuff in some of the WhatsApp groups, sometimes I don't even put a comment, because that's all you're trained to do in the United States, is to talk about race all day long. You don't get a chance to talk about business. You don't get a chance to talk about family, nothing. So I can attest that. I don't want to sound like I'm babbling, but I can attest she's not the first person that I've heard that were raised in Europe or UK and say that when they went to United States, they had never experienced being bombarded with race reminding as much as they did when they were back home in Europe or in UK.
And another thing, let me just give an example with me being raised in England, living in England since the age of 3 months. So I was born in the United States in Florida, but then my father background was military, got stationed to England, and he did like majority of his whole military career there. But another thing that I noticed living in those 3 countries in Europe is that the people from England, a lot of the white British in Germany, it's the same also. Did I break up?
Yeah, you said about in England, and we didn't hear the rest of that.
Oops, sorry. I think, am I here? Am I back? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
I'm
hear
sorry.
you.
Okay, I think it broke up a little bit. Sorry. Another thing is living between Italy, England, and Germany. Like the women love Black men. So there was I never saw anything racial or any of the white German women. I mean, Italians are considered white too, but they were just obsessed with Black men, people of my skin complexion, your skin complexion. They would always say, "Oh, I want a brown baby." It was just like, I just remember, "Oh, I want a brown baby. I can't wait to have babies with your hair." Like, just like they were just obsessed. Like, I don't know what it was, but growing up, people used to touch my hair. White girls used to cry and say, "I just wish I was, Black like you." It was just, now that I think about it, it was just crazy. So, I mean, I never experienced racism. I've heard some people talk about Germany and say that they felt a little uncomfortable being around German people when they went to Germany, but I never experienced that. Never. I mean, from me being there and living there and living it, they love Black people. So yeah, I've never heard of anyone having a problem with racism in Europe when I lived there. And still now, my parents still live there. I mean, it's just really laid back and chilled. Yeah.
Kyla, you're frozen, but I have
Oh no.
a question.
Visually, you're frozen, but we still can hear you.
You're visually frozen.
Oh.
Okay, now you're back. Okay, so I
Okay.
have a question to the panel. Whoever wants to go first, but what would you say was the hardest lesson learned as an expat? Whether it's for the better or for the worse. What was the hardest lesson learned?
For me.
It could be a positive hard lesson. So, Russ, if you want to start first,
Oh.
or a negative one, what was the hardest lesson learned? Once you became an expat.
I think the hardest lesson learned for me was most people I think are good-hearted people and are genuine, but you got those who man, you just fall in, you just meet so many people trying to scam you, get over. People that you look out for, that you think, you have a really strong relationship with, man, and that you trust, and then you come to kind of find out that you have to peel back some of that, man, and not to the point where like the United States, but you just got to remember, man, that that people, people are people, people are people everywhere. You're gonna have your good, your bad, you're gonna have your great, you're gonna have those who just, and I'm talking about not just my brothers and sisters from the Dominican Republic, but even the Americans, that the French, man. you I would say live your life, enjoy your paradise, but you still gotta keep that guard up a little bit. Still gotta keep that guard up a little bit. The pressure is definitely less. You definitely once you start learning, um, the things that go on, in that particular place where you may be, whether it's Colombia, whether it's Dominican Republic, Thailand, whatever. You got a better grasp. But when you first move somewhere, man, don't tell nobody that this is your first day here or you just moved down here. Keep that information to yourself, or keep it, or share that with people who you can trust in that inner circle, man. Because a lot of times people think you can trust everybody, and you can't. You can't. Trust me. And that's a hard lesson to learn. So yeah.
What about you, Jorge?
One thing that I've learned is you can't please everybody. You got to learn to put yourself first and move with what you think is correct for your life. Because, like Dre said, at the end of the day, all the regrets, all the I wish, all this stuff, you're gonna have to deal with at the end. So I mean, don't try to please everybody. Please yourself first. Like Taylor said that, I think most of us are genuinely good people. We try to put others in front of us. We try to do this, try to do that. But you do have to get to a point where you're also serving yourself, and that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from making the move and the transition. And also, you have to learn to evaluate where the information is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always that a person is bad or out to get you in some cases. It's just that they don't have the knowledge to get you to where you need to get or where you're trying to get. So you got to evaluate that information sometimes. Like, a person might be like I don't know about in Colombia, but I know in DR they do it all the time. If you ask a person, if you hold a bucket of paint and a and a brush, and you be like, yo, I got 5,000 pesos to give somebody. You ask 10 people, 10 of them gonna say they know how to paint. I guarantee you, 10 of them gonna say, yes, I know how to do that. You need them to fix a car? Yes, I know how to fix a car. Do you need them to do this? Yes, I know how to do that too. They know how to do everything if money is attached to it. Well, it's because of their situation. They want to get, the money. It don't make them bad people. They might not be good at it. So you got to evaluate where the information is coming from.
What about you, Dre?
My biggest lesson, I would have to say that it was all worth it. The good times, the bad times, the situations with people that I liked, people that I didn't like, whether it was in the States or whether it was people that I met down here. It's at the end of the day, all these lessons of life had to be learned. I would do myself a disservice if I sat back and I said, I want to go to a country where I never have a bad day. I never have a challenge again in life. I would do myself a disservice. So the challenges that we've had since I moved down here, I embrace those just as much as I embrace the victory. It's all worth it. I've become a better man, a better person. I kid you not. I just in my part with the story. I remember a friend of mine. He's married, I'm married, and we're at that time period in the States, and we're just cheating our tails off. And I remember he told me, he said, Andre, I think we're going to die like this. And I really thought that I couldn't be faithful to any woman. I never saw the value of being faithful to a woman and being in a relationship with just one person. I was just like everybody else. I mean, I'm out there wilding. And to sit back and see the man that I've become, to see the value in the life of a relationship, to see everything that blossoms. I'm not saying everybody's built for relationships and marriage. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is my journey and my situation, like Russ said, everybody's situation is different when it comes to becoming an expat. And I'm proud of myself, man. I'm actually proud of myself, but that's by way of the good days and the bad days, in accepting that. The second thing that I would say that kind of hurt me the most is this, and it really hurt me. The more I'm outside the United States, the more I realize my country and my people lied to me. my black people lied to me about the transatlantic slave trade, made it seem like all black people that was part that came from Africa basically went to the United States and only a sprinkle of them to the Caribbeans. They didn't tell me that 70 to 80% of the journey came to South America and the Caribbeans, and only 6% to 9% went to the United States. And we act so eager. Even Minister Faircon didn't tell me that much. I'm thinking Elijah Muhammad going to at least tell me that it was only 9%, guys, but you got a whole family of black people in DR, a whole family of black people in Haiti, a whole family of black people in Trinidad, in Cuba, in Cartagena, in Brazil. They ain't tell us none of that. Our own people lied to us. We had to come out and learn that on our own. Secondly, when it came to capitalism and having things, our country lied to us. Our country lied to us, and they only show Brazil barrios. They never show you the big city and beauty of Brazil. When it comes to DR, they never show you the Santiago's or the other areas that are really well developed and beautiful cities. They never show you that. When it comes to Colombia, they only want to talk about what happened in 1994. They never want to show you Bogota is the 13th largest city. Medellin was voted in 2016 the most innovative city in the world. They don't ever want to tell you that. So what disappointed me the most, more than anything, that every time you turn around, I gotta unprogram myself from a lie that the United States told me, whether it be about paying taxes or whether it be about how people are in other countries. You go get robbed and killed, get kidnapped. The nicest people I've ever seen are in other countries. And then the lies that the United States tell me, I leave the United States and every time you turn around, it's a serial killer. You can't take your kids to school no more without having to pray over them and send them with almost with a armed bodyguard now. It's just all the lies just they keep adding up. And I'll probably spend the rest of my life unlearning lies that the United States and my own people included told me about people, whether it be women, whether it be men in other countries. They never told us that these women in other countries were fit, feminine, friendly, fertile. They will give you sex, sandwich, and they will give you support. They never told us that you can meet these type of women in other countries. You just spend your time. I spend more time unlearning lies than I do anything else. And that's probably the most disappointing part for me when it comes to becoming an expat.
Okay, what about you? What was the hardest lesson learned once you became an expat? Okay, you here? Frozen.
You're frozen for a minute.
I was on mute.
Okay,
you hear me now? Okay. I think for me,
you're frozen still though.
I'm frozen again.
That's
Oh my god!
Hey, just use it as your avatar. You good?
If we
Should I just turn my camera? Should I just turn it off?
Move in. That's good. Perfecto.
Am I still frozen?
Yep.
Yo, let it go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fellas. I'm so sorry. I have to say, for me, I got a lot of backlash because this is the first country that I moved to by myself. So a lot of people are like, you're a female, you can never do that. You can never do that. You can never do that. I can't tell anyone here that I followed behind another female expat's footsteps, or I know there's some female expats in YouTube who are living in different countries, doing their thing on their own. But for me, it was just something that, I've been traveling back and forth to Dominican Republic for 4 years now. September will be 5 years. And I knew this is something that I've always wanted to do, get away from the military life, be a civilian, and just live comfortably and freely, and that was something that I could just never have done in the United States. There was just no way. There was no way I could have lived another year in the United States. It was just too much. Like, my anxiety was bad, living in the States. So just to show everybody here that, is tuned in, that not only men, but women could do it too. It's always like, oh, it's a more dangerous move for women because being a female, sometimes, people, someone will try and hurt you. They'll try and do that. They'll try and do this. So that was a setback for me at first. I was like, let me think about it. Even my family, they're like, Kyla, you need to rethink that. You need to go with someone. But it's like, no, I'm not going to sit there and wait for anybody. I'm going to do what I feel on my own and just go with it, you know, and just pray that God protects me on this journey and what I'm going to do. But I have to do it for me. I can't do it for anybody else. And that's what I decided to do. You know, I took, you know, my chances and I did it. I haven't regretted it since you know, no regrets whatsoever since I made this move. And there's no way that I will ever step back foot in the United States to live. Like, it's just not happening. If it comes to the point where I'm like, okay, you know, I'm over DR, it's definitely going to be Europe. Definitely going to be Europe. Not my home, not England, but I'll definitely consider Germany or Italy, somewhere in that area. But it will never be the United States. Like, doesn't matter where I am, you know, oh, Kyla, come down to Florida with, you know, my brother, my sister, my aunt, uncle. It still didn't feel right for me. Still the same thing. So it's just, you know, everybody just needs to do whatever they feel. Nobody, I mean, I think that's what Jorge was saying. Like, nobody, don't let no one stop you from doing what you want to do at the end of the day. You know, it's just so much more to life than living in the States. So many different beautiful countries to travel to and, you know, make a decision where you want to settle. Like, of course, it's not always going to be like peaches and cream. Nothing is perfect. But I have to tell you, I definitely feel more better than how I felt when I was in the States. I'm definitely more happier, like much more happier. And it's not like I'm around a whole bunch of people here. Like, I don't have no man. I'm a single female and just doing me. You know, it's all about, you know, self-care and just me being happy and focusing on myself. I'm not focused on anybody else. So, you know, that's just really, really one big thing for me.
I would say the hardest lesson for me, and to piggyback off what you and Jorge said, is just learning to do things for me first. And I feel a lot of us at some point in our lives, we felt if we didn't do for others, we weren't being fulfilled. And then I had to learn the hard way by meeting people like Jorge or meeting people like Russ or Jay. Like, when you choose you, the right people will choose along with you. So everything just flows in the right direction like a river. It's not going to be bumpy. You're not going to be going up against a current or gravity. The right people, when you choose correctly, will find a way to fit into your life, and not only fit into your life, but to enhance your life experience. So for me, it was very hard to just like put my happiness first. And I've stayed in the States longer than I needed to. And just certain decisions where, like, you know, some mistakes we make as humans is thinking that everybody would have the same heart as us. And that's impossible. You know, some people may think the same, some people may like want the same as you, but to say you have the same heart, no, because we're all unique. But the lesson learned was, and that I'm kind of glad I learned this lesson, and I'm working on it now still, is just to put yourself first. Put yourself first. Make sure you're happy, because tomorrow you never know what's gonna happen. You never know, like when Russ said, when the fat lady's gonna sing. So you're gonna hear her singing, and then, or you're gonna be in that nursing home, like Dre stated, and you're gonna be filled with so much regret because you didn't do what you needed. And with that point, to you guys, what is a good age to move abroad?
Today,
Yeah, whenever you
yesterday,
ready. You can be
yesterday,
70,
whatever your yesterday
whatever.
is. Yeah,
And,
whatever age you were
and,
yesterday.
yeah, any age that you're mature enough to handle it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So you would say about like what? As soon as you're legally able to work.
No, I'm saying mature enough to make those decisions. Because when you decide to move overseas, man, you are totally changing your entire life. You're totally going to a new culture. And let's say if you move into a country where it does not speak your native language, now you have to learn a new language, a new way to move. So what I'm saying, there has to come with a certain level of maturity, or you will burn yourself out. And that's why, even when I said earlier to Jorge, person who's making good money, let's say if they got that VA benefit and they got it in their 20s, if you bad with economics and paying bills in the U.S. I don't care if you move over here and you're paying a quarter of what you used to pay. You're going to be just as worse over here paying bills too. Your bad habits your bad habit comes with you until you learn to change them and make better decisions. So that's why there has to be a certain level of maturity when you get ready to make that move.
Yeah, I agree. And you gotta have some level of financial stability. Like me personally, I wouldn't recommend moving to no country to try to like survive and work on a level like that. I wouldn't recommend to nobody. I will always say just make sure you are financially stable and you have something steady coming in, or like Dre did, had a nice little savings and then go from there. But it's like Teddy said he's about to buy that $30,000 watch. I didn't spend 30,000 all last year, and I'm dealing with my mom's medical expenses. I'm dealing with my stuff. If you look at my stuff, we go out to eat twice a week. All my bills is paid. You know what I'm saying? So, like, long as you financially stable and you have a nice little check coming in, that's when I think you're ready. You know, like in the States, I think that we're programmed to, oh, you should retire at 65. To me, I learned shit. I'm 38. So I tell anybody, retirement is when you can financially afford it. It don't matter what age you are.
Absolutely correct. I tell people all the time, I said my retirement is defined by no longer can corporate America hire me or fire me. That's the definition.
That's a question up here. That's a question up here. One dude asked that. Would you go back to a 500, a Fortune 500 company? Me,
No.
I'm gonna answer for me. Hell's no. There's not a company in the States. There's not. We all say it on all our channels. To be honest, I have somebody that cook, that cleans. I have a full-time nurse. You know how much a full-time nurse will cost for me in the States? How much money I would have to make? I have a full-time nurse. I pay for all her medication out of pocket. It doesn't hurt me. You know how much that shit would cost in the States with no insurance? You know, if I say I want fried chicken, if I say I want this, she makes it. My house, by the time I walk in from the gym, nice, clean, smelling like Fabuloso. Our lifestyles, we might not have the Mercedes that you're paying or leasing for. We might not have the BMWs. We might not have the watches. We might not have the fancy clothing and all that other stuff. Like, look, all of us look pretty. Look at Brother Russ. He got his gun shooting out. Look at Dre. He got the regular T-shirt on. Look at me. I got my work stuff. Look, it doesn't matter once you go to another country. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses no more. Nobody cares. So to afford this quality of life in the States, you would have to have way better, like a crazy salary. So me, I'm gonna answer that question and say, no, there is no check, job, or anything somebody can offer me to go back to the States.
What about you, Russ?
In a word, hell no. I was even offered a really good spot to come back to the state. You know, I used to be an instructor with the government, and they started contracting out, a lot of the training and different things that they're doing. And there was a company that used to work with us on different things, different missions, and the guy got in touch with me through my Facebook, and this was a while back, and offered me a job in the States. And it's like, well, Russ, man, you only got to do 1 week in, 1 week out. I said, I live in DR now, man. I said, I'm not. He said, no, we'll fly you out from DR. We'll fly you out from DR. You work a week, then you're off the next week. He said, you're still able to do your laptop. He said, whatever you got, because he started watching my videos, I guess, your laptop or whatever lifestyle you want. He says, he says, the work. He says, you can teach with your eyes closed. And I thought about it all for a hot 20 seconds. And good and all that. And I was like, I can't do it, man. I cannot do it. I said, there's just no way. And it was a great opportunity to travel all over the country, getting per diem, and I get my benefits going back for my, my airline credits, my hotel credit, but none of it was worth it, man. None of it was worth it. So I had to turn it down. And like I said, it was, it was close to six figures, it was like in the high 80s, and that was like working really 6 months of the year because you work 1 week, you're off 1 week. But I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, man. I could not do it. So no, no, nothing would make me go back.
What you got, Dre?
The greatest commodity in life that and the universe has given us is time. You have to ask yourself at 54 years old, why would I give up my time? I'm not a 24-year-old that can be tempted that easily. I'm not a 34-year-old that could be tempted. Let's say it's 500,000. Dre, we're gonna give you 500,000. Come back to the States. I don't care if you pumped it up to $1 million. You can't give me my time back. And after y'all get done taking the taxes out, and then the temptation to buy some of everything with that $1 million that I don't even need, that $1 million ain't even worth $1 million. The headaches that me and my wife will go through because now she is over here. She's got to adjust to dealing with this country, and then adjust to being with her husband that's away half the time dealing with 9 to 5 traffic. Just for $1 million, it's not even $1 million. Sign the dotted line, Andre, it's $1 million. Oh, taxes coming, bam. Oh, you need a financial advisor, bam. Oh, you're gonna need you a financial attorney, bam. All that's eating into it. Oh, all the expensiveness of living in the States, bam. Now it's worth what, $250,000. And I'm tempted to get the top-notch apartment because we used to be in the top-notch apartments here. So now I'm kicking out $3,000 a month. That money's not worth the time. It's not worth the headache. I put it at $1 million. I would not come back to the United States and live full time if it was $1 million motherfucking dollars. You can keep it. You can't get time back. What do they hire you for? Your time. I love the story. Let me end it with this story real quick. The story is a very famous story. It's called The Businessman and the Fisherman. And I've told this story before. Businessman came to a small island and said, hey, he saw the fisherman who was fishing, making his, he was making a few dollars after he fished, but he would give a lot of fish away to his friends and they would sit around, play guitar. And so the businessman said, hey, man, you're a really good fisherman, man. He said, why don't you start a business? He said, why would I do that? He said, so you could start hiring your friends. He said, okay, why would I do that? So you could go ahead and start, a corporation, a larger business where you can do manufacture this and ship your fish around the world. He said, why would I do that? So you can move to whatever country in the world because you're going to be international selling fish. He said, okay, why would I do that? So you can retire. He said, okay, why would I do that? So you could you come back, fish, and give fish away to your friends and play guitar. He said, why would I do that? I already fish. I give fish away to my friends and we play the guitar. Some of you dudes, y'all, you will sell your soul for full circle. You will sell your soul for scenic route. When all we're telling you to do is just go directly to your retirement. We've been fooled to think that if it's not 65 or if I'm not financial 100% economically stable, some of us aren't even at the peak of the amount of money that we're going to make. But we didn't wait until then. We didn't wait until our money peaked out. Russ didn't wait till his money peaked out. I didn't wait till my money peaked out. And Russ has seen some of the numbers that we made. I said I had enough money. I told myself this. I said, Andre, you got 2 years worth of money, and you got emergency funds. Boy, if you can't make it in 2 years, you need to go back to that cubicle. And within that 2 years, all the doors started opening up, and I took advantage of them. I'm not about to be there. I'm the fisherman that's sitting here fishing for myself, feed my friends, and playing my guitar, while y'all still taking the scenic route to retirement all the way around. I have a happier life than I can sit back and say Jay-Z, Beyonce, you name your rich people. My life is a happier because I have what they don't have. Time.
Man, that's 100% true, yo. You hit every point that needs to be said, man. That's 100% true. Because most times in the States, man, all we doing is chasing brands. We making everybody else rich. You want to live in a big house. You want to have the nice cars. You want to have this. You want to have that. Where if you was to just walk away and let that shit go and be like, you know what? Forget a Mercedes. Forget a BMW. Forget a Louis Vuitton. I'm gonna just downgrade my life. You actually gonna upgrade your life.
And if the pandemic taught us anything, pandemic told you, God giveth, God taketh away. There's so many businesses that folded, so many clubs, so many people that was balling out of control, so many people lost their jobs, so many people start from scratch in 2021 because 2020 took everything. They have a record right now, a record number of people at this stage of life moving back in with their parents. Not in Jorge's situation where he's taking care of his parent. No, they're moving back in because in the States, they can't afford it. And then to curb the inflation and recession that's going on, the Fed has raised the interest rate for the third time. What does that mean? That means that just like AT&T, just like Amazon and other companies have announced, they are going to put a freeze on hiring. Because in order to curb a recession, you have to slow down the money that's flowing throughout a country. How do you do that? In other words, not that many people buying. The supply demand is slowed down because there's not much supplies. So we got to slow down the demand. How do you do that? Keep money out of people's pockets. How do you keep too much money out of people's pockets? You slow down the job market. So it's not that many people being hired. You guys think that you're hurting right now? Wait until 2023. It's a whole brand new ball game waiting for you in the United States when it comes to slowing down this recession. Yeah. That's the only way it can be done is people must lose their jobs.
No, I'm glad you said that, Drake, because I just talked to an IT guy, right? This dude's like heavy into IT. Been doing it for 20 years, got his own company. And he just said, man, a lot of cats, even with IT, which is like, you have Google who said they need 9,000, Amazon said they need 10 more thousand. All these companies, you need those high tech jobs. Well, now they rescinded all those offers. He said a lot of people who got offered to Google or Amazon, he said those major companies, now they rescinded those offers. So even the big boys are in on the play. Now, he said he has a rescinded offer. He said, because I'm not, Fortune 500 company. But I was like, are you serious? He said, yeah. He said, so all those high paying jobs that they said, hey, are here in the market. Guess what they did? Now they froze them. He said, so when they freeze them in the high paying, high tech jobs, he said, trust me, shit rolls downhill.
In 2021, there was on average 5 to 6 jobs for every American, able-bodied American in the United States. Right after the pandemic, everything opened up to where it got up to over 11 million job openings. People were actually 4 million people had shifted their jobs, and then in 2022, many of them went back to their old jobs because they were more comfortable with it. But right now, just on the stats, remember I said 2021, 11 to 12 jobs per person, able-bodied worker. 1.1 jobs right now per person in the United States. What that means is if you lose your job, it's going to be an uphill climb because there's only one more job that's available for a person that's got your skills statistically. That goes to show you how tight it's going to become in the United States. You can't remember in 2021, you could tell a company, I don't want to mess with you. Remember they had all those hiring bonuses and you come work with us. And that's gone because of the inflation rate. Because so much money now people made from 2021, there's not enough supply because the supply chain is so small and you're running out of stuff in grocery stores and gas stations and so forth and so forth. You have to slow down the inflation of money, and that slow supply chain is only one way to do it. You got to slow down the amount of money that people are having so the supply chain can grow because people ain't got the money to spend on it. So supply chain can grow and then the amount of money that people have shrinks, and that's how you have the balance and you get the economy back on track. We don't feel that over here because we're spending American. You see what I'm saying? We only watch it from the news perspective. We pray, y'all. We say, oh, wow, we sit out there, we're watching like, oh, wow, look what Biden doing. Oh, look at the Fed doing. But we don't feel that pinch. Why? Because the American dollar, by way of what you're going through, is killing you. But the American dollar is right now, it's for, Andrea was just telling me a couple hours ago, she's like, oh, the dollar's going back up again. People in Colombia are going out and spending their pesos on buying dollars because the dollar is going up so fast. They're like, if I get it at this stage, it's going to go up and my money is going to be worth this amount. You don't get that benefit because you still live in the United States. You get none of the benefits that we get just based off inflation. I'll give you another thing that I'm going to start with this as this example. Because of the rate of inflation in the United States and the dollar being stronger around the world, it allows our rent, because we pay in US dollars, to drop. Our contract is for $420 a month for everything included. The washer and dryer, the apartment, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 12-foot vaulted ceilings, the garage, Wi-Fi, cable, everything, all of it for $420 a month. But because the US dollar is going up, our rent cost has gone down to, based off of what we pay every month, $333. So we're paying $333 for the exact same apartment that we were paying $420 not even a month ago. I mean, not even a year ago. Because we take advantage, we're able to take advantage of the dollar, and you can do it too. But you so busy stuck in the nostalgia of the red, white, and blue, my country, 'tis of thee, you don't realize that the people that you hold so dearly do not hold you as dearly. You're going to see that over the next year when it comes to economics, where you need to borrow $50 from Keith, and Keith ain't got $50 to give.
Yeah. If you guys like what Dre had to say right there, make sure you guys go check out his YouTube channel, Mostly Money TV, where he will educate you on things like the recession, social security checks, stimulus, all that. Go check out Dre's channel. Actually, go subscribe to all these channels right here. Kyler, you're the last one to answer this question. But first off, shout out to Teddy KGB. I'm gonna get to the comments, and I got like 2 more questions, then we're gonna end this live because I know it's getting late. But shout out to Teddy. He says, never underestimate the impact you are making, the deprogramming, the unplugging. We all thank you. You are a changing face. We appreciate you. So, Kyler, what about you? Would you go back to the States?
Ever? No, absolutely no. I'm sorry. My happiness and my mental health is more important than money. Much more important than money. So that would never happen. Like I said, it was hell the last 4 years with the culture shock and just everything I experienced in the United States. And no, I mean, I could be here in Dominican Republic living in a little hut if I had to and be happy. I'm just being honest. I mean, everybody sees me. Oh, you're a bougie female. You know, the way you dress and you look, it's like you need this and that. No, I'm telling you, no, that's definitely not true. But no, my mental health and happiness is much, 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 much more important. It's important. And just like Andre said, like your time doesn't come back. After tonight, after tomorrow, our time is never going to come back. We're never going to be able to relive, you know, these days, these weeks, these years ever again. So it's like, you know, why wait? Why wait? What's the wait? Like if that's something everyone is looking into and wants to do, get your passport, move abroad. Like, because the more you wait, it's like it's never going to happen if you wait. So definitely enjoy life. Like, as you see with all of us on the panel, we are a prime example. Like, we're not up here lying to y'all or making things seem glamorous that's not glamorous, or making like there's nothing to lie about. You have to experience it to know. But to answer that question, absolutely not. No. Like, no. Everybody always asks me every day, my family, are you okay over there? You ready? Are you ready to leave? No. Why would you ask me that question? You know, no. You have to come over here to experience it and see. And then you'll know. But definitely, yes. This is definitely the life that I wish I would have thought of years and years ago. You know, I wish like back in my late 20s, at least I would have made this move. But hey, at least I did it. I'm happy and I'm living life. So, yes.
It's unanimous across the boards. Nobody here after the taste. That's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you guys seen that meme of Shaq where he like tries that food on his face? It's like, and then you're just like, oh, well, you can't have any more of that. That's what it'll be like to know living in Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil. You're like, all right, well, just go back to the States, to the dark clouds and the depression and the traffic and the shooting and the expensive. I'm getting stressed out just thinking about it. I'm nowhere near this.
I get anxiety having to travel back to the States. Like, I got to go back to the States in a couple
Yes.
weeks. And I keep on putting it off. I keep on putting. I'm like, yo, I'll go in 2 weeks. My brother called,
Yes.
when you're coming, another week, another 2 weeks. Like, I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm not even there, and I'm already stressed, and I'm already like, okay, I'm only staying 4 days. Whatever we can do in 4 days, that's it. And I'm coming right the hell back.
Yeah,
Very
but
true.
I got a great example of what it's like. When I was 16, my mother had put me out, right? And I wasn't a bad kid. I just said no to it. And my mother said, well, the day you said no to me, that means you grown. You got to get out.
You got to go.
Called every
Make a
relative,
trash bag.
every friend. Yep, I was a trash bag person. And I said, Russell can't live with you, right? But long story short, I knew 2 older cats, maybe 3 years older than me, had their own place, stay with them. I always had a job making money. Anyway, maybe 2 months went by, right? My mother called me and said, hey, come over to the house. I'm like, okay, cool. And went over there, and she says, I was talking to the elders because, we was raised your whole witness. She said, they said I was too harsh. And she said, all right, you can come on back home. Now, I'm 16, making good money, out on my own, coming in whatever time I want to come in, no more following mommy rules, drinking, enjoying. And she said, you could come back home. And I said, Ma, I ain't never coming back. It's like you get a taste of this freedom. And I always say about, I feel more free here in Dominican Republic for a plethora of reasons. And then to go back to, like you said, that cloud, that darkness. Why the hell? Listen, nobody goes back when they experience that freedom. Nobody, no smart person goes back when you experience a sense of freedom. There's cats who probably went into the prison system, and once they got out, they only needed one taste, one little hit, and they were like,
this ain't for me.
That ain't never happening again.
Amen.
I ain't jaywalking.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Great story, Russ, man. That's a great metaphor for how you feel. And you know what blows me away is, and I know Chop, he has 2 more questions for us. I used to watch YouTubers. I remember it was these Black YouTubers in the Philippines. And there was like 4 brothers, and they were sitting around one day, and they were saying, "I'll never live in the United States again." And my brain couldn't program that. And it a lot of stuff that I know guys and ladies are watching us now, their brain can't wrap around some of the things that we're saying with the costs. You never realize that you don't know everything until you try to wrap your brain around something that doesn't sound real, and you don't understand it. And these brothers were like, no, and they were so calm, just professional brothers. And they were like, no, man, they just T-shirts on there. They said, no, man, I've been living in the Philippines, blah, blah, blah. I've been living so forth and so forth. I've traveled to Europe, so forth and so. I said, no, I ain't never living in the United States again. And my brain was trying to grab hold to what they were saying because, I'm analytical. So I try to understand everything, perspective, Libras, balance everything out. And dude, I could not understand how a person could actually say you are not going to live in the great red, white, and blue again. My brain had been so programmed as a person, I couldn't compute what they were saying, just like I couldn't compute when Domain said when he was living in Cali, Domain is Let's Learn Spanish TV, and he said, I have an apartment for $250 a month, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom in the suburbs. My brain was trying to understand that, and I was like, this ain't real. And now that I'm living it, and I understand that the reason for saying this, guys, in the comments, in the chat, probably are going through the same thing that I went through as a logical person, trying to grasp what we're saying, and it's just blowing. It's like it's just mind blowing for you to hear this. Like something evil must have happened to them. That's why they're like that about the United States, or they must have warrants out for their arrest, or so. No. We're just logical people who understand economics, and we realize as long as we're making US dollars, and these US dollars are giving us a life that we couldn't, many of us, most of us, United States, let's not pretend, can't afford to live anymore. 85% of the United States cannot afford to live in the United States. You're just there because you were born there. You can't afford to live there statistically. Statistically, 85% of you can't afford. You're paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. You're working overtime. Some of you will have, you can't wait until a holiday comes because you get that holiday time and a half. They said that last year, United States citizens gave back in vacation time 196 million hours of vacation time. 196,000, 196 million hours of vacation time in 1 year, because nobody took vacations because you all were hard work, grinding. That's what I'm not trying to go back to. Because even if I go back to the United States and I ain't stressed out, I got to be around y'all stressed out asses all day long. And that's another thing I ain't trying to go back to. You think I'm trying to go back to y'all stressed out asses? Y'all got me stressed out just knowing I'm going to be around y'all stressed out asses. You can't drive without having road rage. You're trying to shoot everything just because y'all got a gun and toilet paper in 2020. Somebody let y'all buy some guns and toilet paper. You're losing your mind. You're shooting up kids and babies. What are you doing? What are you really doing in the United States? I'm scared to be around y'all. I kid you not. When I went back to the United States, I was like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I know I exist. I know I'm here, but I was really basically walking around in an invisibility cloak. I kid you not, man. I wasn't trying to be bothered. I wasn't calling nobody on GP. Hey, I just went there, took care of business for 2 days. Day 3, I'm out. It wasn't a hesitancy. And some of you cannot wrap your brain around that. And I understand that. But the day will come where you will trust yourself and say, even though I don't understand it all completely, I'm gonna take that leap of faith. And the worst thing that can happen is I go find another country. Don't take your butt back to the States. You can find you another country. It's over 191 countries in the world. Don't run back to the United States your first go round of something going bad. Like Chop, he went from DR, he found Rio, Brazil. Some dudes have found going from Colombia, and they found Mexico. So don't run back to the United States automatically as soon as times get tight for you. Do not do that. Time's going to get better. You've had some tight times before. Don't act like this is your first rodeo, and go out there and do what needs to be done. And then your brain will understand when we say, I ain't never living in the United States again. Russ already heard my story. I said, man, if I died in the United States, me and God got to have a long talk when I get a long talk. You let me die in that country? You let my body, you can have all the places I've been, Lord. You want to call me home there? No, that's how I feel about the United States. No ashes, no dust. Do not let, Lord, if that's gonna be my birthday gift to me, Lord, let that be, or my death day gift. Let that be my death day gift, Lord. Do not let me die in the United States.
Jay, it's so funny you mentioned that because I was in the States from like part of June to July, and man, I was hitting up Jorge every day. Like I said, I can't be here, I can't stand it. And to my friends and family watching, this isn't nothing against you guys, but I don't hit nobody up when I'm going to the States because I don't even want to be there myself. So by the time I'm processing, like shit, I'm really in New York right now, and I realize where I am, it's time for me to leave. I only go back to the States for one thing. It's not for friends, not for family, not for the food, not even for doctor services, because I could go to the Dominican Republic for that. Or I could get free healthcare here in Sao Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
I only go for my daughter. That's it. That's my business. I'm not going to visit, hang out, because I don't even want to be there. It's up to the part right now where I'm writing down a thesis for my daughter when she's old enough to understand thesis. Like, listen, this is why we should take these trips outside the US. Daddy should have to be in the States and that. I'm going to explain to her from the age, like, listen, the world is huge. States is great. Listen, dollar makes pesos. Dollar makes pesos, but you don't have to be here for the dollars. Let's go. But other than that, I don't want to be there. If I know I have to take a trip next month, I'm already having nightmares. Like, damn, I got to get on a plane. I gotta go to the airport with the rude ass airport people, and then I got to be in traffic. And a burrito costs $18 at most. I have no idea why a burrito costs $18 or electric bill this or the police.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about
Oh,
it.
I was about to say the same thing. I don't even want to think about it no more because it's all.
It's like Drake says, nothing against you guys, but I can't even believe, like, when I'm there in the States in New York, I'm like, yo, am I really here right now? Like, is this a dream? Is this happening? Where am I? When can I leave? And I'll go on my JetBlue app. I'll be like, all right, 5 days and 4 hours till check-in. Okay, 4 days till check-in, 2 days to get you. I'll be at the airport 6 hours before the flight leaves just to know I'm at the airport. Just so I can be like, all right, ain't nothing gonna stop me from getting on this plane. I'm in the airport. I'm ready to go. Like, that's how serious it is whenever I go back to the Matrix. So to the panel, what is one thing in your respective countries, Dominican Republic and Colombia, have you that you're proud of that you positively adjusted to?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Repeat that question one more time.
Very good question.
In your respective countries, so you and Dominican Republic, what is one thing since you became an expat till now that you are proud of yourself that you adjusted to, that you positively adjusted to as an expat, living outside the States when all the naysayers like, oh man, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, you can't do it. What is one thing you kicked ass in when you became an expat?
All right, can I go first?
Go ahead.
Because after this, I may get off because I got something else. For me, I think that the one thing I'm truly proud of is becoming part of the community and building an expat community. Because the expats here in DR specifically in Puerto Plata, Cabarete, Sasua, man, we're strong. I mean, man, listen, we be running from shit. I be running from them because they always got something going on. There's something always going on. Somebody's advertising their business, and it's like, man, it's a lot. But when we get together, and especially when I see the sisters, expats that came over here, and they feel they have a safe space. They feel they're protected. They look at us like their brothers, extended family. And people say to me all the time, man, Russ, bro, this is what you built, man. Just that is probably the thing that I'm the proudest of. That is something that is going to that's just like in your family, you try to create generational wealth. I think that's creating generational wealth you know, in a different way, not financially, but definitely with more and more, and we adding names to this expat chat group every day. It's just building family, man, and like I said, man, now when people come down, I'm telling you, nobody feels like, you know, I'm here by myself. You know, we also started a database, man, to collect emergency contacts. Just God forbid, you know, something happened to one of us, we could reach out to the family and at least put them in and with an attorney or maybe the embassy and help them, you know, navigate that whole situation. So, yeah, man, just building that expat community is one of the things I'm proudest of outside of the orphanage, which I've been involved with for going on 6 years, and of course my daughter. So yeah.
All right, perfect. I know you got to go, Unc. So, just first off, thank you for your time tonight. Really meant a lot for me, and I want to take the time to thank all you guys collectively together and just say how much I love you and thank you for the impact, the notes, the love, the knowledge, everything. Being here through rain, sun, shit, shine, whatever. This is my first live with you guys after I just broke the 2K mark of subscribers on YouTube. A year to having a channel, and I wouldn't have made it this far without you guys. So thank you, and I know you gotta go. So whenever you're ready to bounce, just have a good night, and I will see you very, very soon.
Bye, Miss Kayla.
Good night, mi amorcito. I love you, Russ. I love you.
Love you back. Love you back.
All right, brother.
All right, so who wants to go next?
I would have to say the because there's so much that you learn when you come to this stage of travel and being an expat. I would have to say the thing that I picked up the most from being in other locations is understanding relationship, understanding love, understanding appreciation for myself and my wife, and appreciating those around me. The other thing that I have to admit, and a lot of dudes don't talk about often, is I've been able to pick up bits and pieces of manhood from other parts of the world outside the United States. I thought I really knew manhood. I thought you could tell me, you can tell me nothing about being a man. But then from being around other men and how they handle families, and then seeing other men how they handle language, like you guys, Chapapa, and all of you guys are fluent in this more than one language. How you all are handling that part of manhood, economics when it comes to manhood, not being tempted by the keeping up with the Joneses and all that childishness, to be able to say, hey, me and my wife are going to go fly here, or we're going to go travel there. I have to say, man, the greatest gift that I would have to say, man, that many of you have put off into me, you poured into my manhood and made me a better man, to where I wouldn't be fit for women in the United States anyway, even if I went back. There's a completely different definition of manhood that I would bring to the table that women in the United States has never seen before. Because I'm Voltron now. I'm not just, you see what I'm saying? I picked up all my piece of manhood from I'm Voltron's right now. So I would have to say, other than the development of the marriage that I have with Andrea, for myself, the gift that I received personally is the development of my manhood from all you dudes from around the world that have poured into me a new definition of what manhood and appreciation actually is.
Wow, that's powerful, brother, and I'm ecstatic for you. Definitely, with you winning, I'm winning also. So
yeah.
Congratulations.
For me, the biggest thing is I learned that less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Less is more. Like simplicity is the key to happiness. That's what I learned. Like back in the States, I'm making 200K. You know what I'm saying? I got the house, I got the cars, I got this, I got that. But I'm that joker working 6, 7 days a week. I'm that joker working 12-hour days. I'm getting a retire. When, guess what? I didn't have to do that. All I had to do is leave with my retirement. I would have been able to enjoy my mom before dementia. I would have been able to enjoy my life and do all that stuff. Leave with my disability retirement and had a nice life. But no, I need more. I need more. I need more. Then you move to a country like this where you see simplicity is the key to happiness. You see jokers shooting water from a fire hydrant like jokers used to do back in the 80s. You see kids playing baseball in the street. You see everybody at the river or at the beach with the little coolers with the pots and pans. They not bringing, oh no, getting the bungalow and doing this and spending $500 in bottles and food and it. No, they brought the food that they cooked at their house. Everybody bought a pot and they happy. So that's what I learned. And that was the biggest gift for me. Less is more. So that's definitely what I learned from this country.
All right. Shout out to Mr. G for the super chat. He says that I'm late to the stream. This is the motivation I needed. Push the button, exit out the matrix. Time is not guaranteed. Definitely. Like Dre said earlier, the right age is today. Today. Tomorrow. As long as you get it done. And Kyla, what are you how can I say what have you positively I know you have no problem adjusting in the DR because you've been through various parts of the world already. So I know DR was probably just like
right. I have to say Jorge definitely took my answer. But no, because I was gonna say happiness is just it's your happiness is more important than materialistic things. And let me tell you, it was a big move, because obviously overseas, moving from country to country, I brought all my things. But I had to let go of a lot of stuff when I, came here, and like all my boots, like my name brand purses. I mean, I did collect like my Coach, my Louis Vuitton, all that stuff. Like I had so many things, and it's just like, dang, do I really need to take that? Do I really need to take that? But no, with me traveling back and forth here, like you fellas were saying early, like Jorge was like, look what we're wearing. When you're like, we got a white t-shirt, a black tee, like we over here, like all this name brand stuff is people don't care about that. People are not over here sporting it. Half of the people here can't like afford that stuff. So it's not important. It really is not important. It's just everybody being together, family oriented, enjoying life. Even if there's worries today, tomorrow, usually people here, they're not worried about what yesterday's worries were. So just seeing and being around people happy, like the atmosphere, it just makes you feel so much better compared to being in the States and people moody, like even setting foot in the airport, like landing in Miami or Tampa, whatever, like you just feel people's attitudes. You sense it. You sense like that negative energy in the air. And I do not like negative energy. I could feel it right away. So, like I said, my happiness, my mental health, just everything is much more important than what I left behind in the States. Let me tell you, it was difficult for me. But once I got here and I got settled in, it was just like, oh, like, why was I sitting there like stressing for like a week about if I was going to bring like all this stuff that I didn't even need over here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's because I'm a female or what. Maybe that's what it is. But, I just wanted to take everything, like my whole home with me over here. But like I said, it wasn't anything that I needed. Just my happiness means so much more to me. And I had to be here and I had to be here to see it. I had to be here to see it. So definitely just the whole, like kids out in the street, kids are not just home on video games, and everybody's just out in the street enjoying life. And that's what I love. And also coming from my background, from a culture like that, in England, that's what I saw too. Not as much because it was so cold there. It's cold there, but just being here, like I said, just the Latin culture, how everyone is so close knit, and like from the family that I come from, like I love to be in this type of atmosphere to experience that, I guess you can say, because like I said, it's just about being happy, and family comes first at the end of the day. So yes.
Right. That's definitely funny you mentioned that. Because Dre said early in the live, Dre, let me know when you're ready to do that live where it's like the last 90 days from getting ready to leave the matrix and all the downsizing and the selling and where you're sleeping. Because
Mhm.
for me, that like Jorge will tell you, the transition from DR to Brazil was hell because everything that I brought with me to the States, because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be in DR at least 5-10 years, and then boom, here comes Brazil. So now I'm like, damn, I had to get rid of my two children who I still think about to this day. One named 65, the other named 75, LG Smart TV.
This guy crazy.
I had to get rid of so many clothes. But it's like that's the beauty of it, where it's like, man, I don't need these things anymore. Just two backpacks, two suitcases, and your furnished apartment wherever you are, and it's just beautiful to be able. So tomorrow I'm coming up on a week in this apartment, and just to have the blessing of being able to adjust like with different cultures. So like, all right, I'm with the Dominicans, with the Spanish, now I'm with the Brazilians and the Portuguese. It's just like a challenge that you always look forward to. And I'm just so grateful to be able to be now in South America, where I'm like, all right, Colombia is a few hours away, or Argentina is this way, Ecuador is that way. I mean, I get to sit here on YouTube to talk about my adjustments, and so does everybody else. And that's the thing where I don't want you guys at home to take this lightly, because we used to be just like you. The doubts, the fears, what should we pack? Can we keep up with the Joneses over here, or what do we have to change here, man? Everything just falls into place as soon as you take that step forward. So the adjustment was great. um I'm glad I adjusted to entering the correct people in my life, because in the States that was definitely a hard thing to do. But man, I tell you, it's like with you guys and other expats, it's like I've known you guys for years and years and years, and we've gone middle school together and everything. It's a beautiful journey. Like for me, I hate journeys. Like I'll dread it, I'll overthink it, but this is like a beautiful journey. But especially I keep looking back here. I want to share this with you guys. Like look how amazing this is. I want to share. This is Sao Paulo. This is Sao Paulo, Brazil, you guys. And I couldn't get this in New York, in Long Island, paying what, 2,000 a month for a one bedroom.
Yeah, 5,000 a month for that type of view in Manhattan.
Yeah, easy. That's what I was thinking.
Kitchen touching the bathroom. Come on, man. What are you guys doing?
But here's the thing too, like people need to know, like Dre has his bad days in Colombia. Life is gonna be life. Anywhere you go, Dre has his bad days. I have my bad days here. Yoso, I'm pretty sure she has her bad days. Chopper gonna have his bad days. So people think that like moving to one of these countries, like just life just changes. No, it's like Dre said, Russ said, you're gonna be the same person. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a fresh start. But due to your bad habits and action, you're going to attract the same situation that you had in the States, unless you do like Dre say and create the person that you want to be. That's like when you move to another state, nobody knows you. Know before the internet. Before the internet, you could be whoever you want to be once you get off that plane. But if you do the same thing that you're doing in the States, fuck up your money, okay, you're gonna have money issues. You dating the wrong people, you're gonna have relationship issues. You hanging with the wrong people, you're gonna have situations that you're gonna get yourself into that you're gonna be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm walking around Santiago, traveling all around DR with an 80-year-old woman who has dementia, can barely walk, and we have never seen a fight. We've never seen a fight. I've never, thankfully, been in a bad situation. We go out to eat all the time, but we go to certain areas. I attract certain people because I have certain people around me, you know. So you got to make sure that, okay, don't think that, oh, I'm moving to DR, but I'm gonna still be looking for trouble. I'm still going to be dealing with these type of people. I'm gonna still be an alcoholic or you know, use drugs, this and that, and life is going to be better. No, life's going to be shitty too. You know, so you still gonna have your bad days, but man, the good days outweigh it, especially if you take the fresh start and just start new.
I'll say this, Jorge. I love my bad days living abroad. You know
Yep.
why? Because life is full of battles, but who said that you can't choose your own battlefield? Right? I'd rather have my bad days in the Dominican Republic or Colombia, Brazil, compared to bad days in the States.
Oh
Forget
yeah,
about it.
definitely.
You choose your own battlefield.
Definitely.
I remember a lot of people were going through the pandemic, and they were wishing they were out of the States. It was a bad time for everybody around the world. But a lot of guys were saying, I would rather do that lockdown in DR. I would rather have done it in Colombia. I'd rather have done it outside the United States than done it in the United States.
Absolutely.
So even if globally there's a bad day, people still would rather be somewhere else other than the United States, even dealing with a global situation, at least long everyday life. And so, man, I great topic, great show. You always one thing I like about what Chapapa does on his channel. He always makes you think. He makes you reflect. He makes you kind of talk about topics in a way that hit home, you know. And this is the only YouTube channel, including ours, that I know where I've seen is really deep thought provoking. It's like he has the ability to choose the right questions to pull certain answers out of us that most of the YouTubers, including our channels, have yet to pull it out that deep. And I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate God using you in a way to bring forth things that we just, I mean, every time I'm on your live stream, or every time I watch your live stream, it's always deep, thought-provoking topics, questions that make guys or ladies just kind of like dig deeper for the answer and not just give the surface answer that people are accustomed to hearing.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. All right, guys. Before we leave, I want you guys to pitch your country. Pitch your country to the viewers at home right now who are ready to go to the passport line tomorrow, or packing their bags, or just like Jorge says, you know what? I'm cutting retirement early. I'm leaving right now. So let's pitch the Dominican Republic and Colombia.
Go ahead, Dre.
I ain't like Russ. I don't want you here. Don't come here. Don't come to Colombia. I don't need no expats. I cut my American cords. I'm like what one sister said. If I hear English, I'm walking that way, I'm turning to go the other way. As soon as I hear you speaking some English, I don't want to be around nothing that talks about red, white, or blue. I don't care nothing about your 4th of Julys. I don't care nothing about you and your statue that's faking liberty. I don't care nothing about when you're sitting back. Actually, just a trivia, the Statue of Liberty is actually a black woman. She still has the chain on her foot. So next time y'all look at the picture of Statue of Liberty, look at her foot. It was actually they actually created from a black woman that was actually an ex-slave. It was supposed to be a sign of being freedom, and the chains were still on her feet, but they changed the face into a white woman. But my point is that's something else that the United States does, and you'll come here with that U.S. mindset. Every time I see a woman from the United States, I turn around because I try to be like Russ and them and say, hey, sister, how you doing? And every sister that me and the other brothers that are grouped down here have met from the States has that still snooty, I miss it attitude because it hasn't washed off. I ain't got no time for it to wash off. Do not come to Colombia. We do not need you here. I broke the umbilical cord, and the last thing I need to see is another American in this country. Go to DR. Go to Cuba.
No.
Zoom your little ass. Go to Thailand. Go zoom your ass over there. Get the Zoom. Don't come over here. I'm telling you, do not come. Listen, I'm gonna talk to the president because we got a sister vice president. I'm gonna talk to the new president. We need to build a wall in Colombia. We need to build a wall because we don't need you up in here. I'm hollering at Trump for the blueprints.
Build a wall. We have the Americans.
Put up a wall to keep you Americans out, man. We don't need you up in here. Y'all, no. I'm serious. In all sincerity, I did not move to another country to create a mini United States. That's why I avoid Americans. Unless I'm really cool with you, I avoid you. I didn't move. I might as well stay in the States if I want to be around 50. I only hung out with like 50, 60 Americans. The average person hangs out with the United States, right? Why the hell would I fly all the way to the other side of the world to be around 56 Americans? I might as well keep my little happy ass back home in the States. So no, do not bring your ass here in Colombia. I'll be around 6 Americans at a time. Yeah, maybe 7 at a time. But 60 no, do not come here. No. That's my pitch. We got 12 countries in South America. You got 11 more to choose from. But don't bring your little happy ass here. No, don't come. Colombia put it off the list. Everything I said, I lied about. I just did it for the views. Get your passport, travel, become an expat or a part-time expat. Just don't do it at my expense. No, I cut that into the court. No, do not come here.
I'm gonna assume Colombia is great the way Dre's so passionate about.
Don't assume none of that.
I mean, it's not great. You guys don't want to go to Colombia.
Colombia like cold oatmeal. Don't nobody want it.
Yeah, it's cold.
Tell everybody to go there.
It's raining all the time. People don't say good morning.
Around no Americans. I'm tired of y'all. Do y'all not realize people get tired of being around y'all? 50 years, I gave y'all 50 years of my life. I'm tired of seeing y'all. I'm tired of your attitude, your moods, all that, your food, all that. I'm tired of y'all. Do y'all not realize that? Dre just playing. No, I'm not. Why y'all think I've been saying it for the last 5 years? Do not bring. That's why I say don't come to Cali. Why? I'm tired of y'all. Give me a break. 50 years of United States BS. Can I just get a break and not be? I just want to be around native people. If I'm in Brazil, I want to be around native Brazilians, learning new languages and cultures and things I didn't know and new music. As soon as y'all happy ass show up, hey Dre, where the hip hop club at? Colombia, this Cali, Colombia, the capital of salsa music in the world. And you got the audacity to walk up to me and ask me where the hip hop, where they playing Little Baby.
Oh, no, not the Little Baby. Not
you
Little
the
Baby.
DR, you can't do bachata. What? So when I say Americans, y'all always want to drag America with you. That's why I want to be around Americans. They always want to drag America with them because they scared to learn new cultures, new things of doing things. Oh, I could never drive in Colombia. Well, I got a driver's license and I'm driving just fine. But you too scared. You scared of everything. United States programmed you to be one thing. I know I'm ranting. Let me get it out. United States citizens, you've been programmed to do one thing: be scared of everything. They train you, whether it be in politics, you vote for that person, you're gonna lose this. You vote for that person, you're gonna lose this.
Yep.
Hey, your girl cheating on you because you cheating on her. It's always something got to do with fear. Hey, you running out of money, you might lose your job. Half of y'all only got y'all job because y'all scared that y'all gonna lose it. So y'all do extra work. The one thing in the United States they do, they pay you just enough not to get fired. If you do just enough, they pay you just enough to get hired, just as long as you do enough not to get fired. That's the United States. And I do not need you around me. I love you. I appreciate you. I watch you on YouTube. I watch you on the news, but I don't need you to be dragging the United States all the way over in Colombia asking me about some dang hip hop or where I can get the latest Jordans. This Adidas country. Nobody wear that trashy Jordans anyway. So when you try to dress, that's why I don't like to be around Americans. Black women bring the same attitude they had in the States over here. White people, you stink. You're smelling just as funky as you did in the United States. When you smell wet dog is wet dog no matter where you want to go. Now you got a choice. You can sit back and say y'all either wet dog or y'all baloney. Which one are you? Y'all the baloney or wet dog, but you can't be both of them. So at the end of the day, y'all got to change. I don't want to be around white Americans. Y'all be there. Listen, come on now. I do not want to be around that. I don't pour none of that. Don't bring no sparklers down here for 4th of July. No, don't bring none of that down here. In America, we do it like this. Damn, America, okay? So you got, like I said, I'm gonna end it like this. You got 11 other countries in South America that you can deal with. But here in Colombia, we do not want your happy asses. There's too many other people can be tourists here and bring their economic monies. But you Americans, you have a tendency to want to make everywhere else America. And don't nobody want that.
Don't come to Brazil. If you're gonna go to Brazil, go to Rio. That's all I got. Go to Rio. Don't go anywhere else.
Oh man.
Or hey, Kyla, what you guys got for the DR? Pitch the DR. No, you need some more expats.
I should let me go last.
I don't live around any expats. I've not been around any expats since I've been coming here, unless I was gonna go travel up to the North Coast. That's the only time I see an American person. Am around an American person. Like I'm always in between Santiago and La Vega. Only around the Dominican people. I'm only, it's like, yeah, I just like Andre said, I didn't move to this country to be in an American community or have like a whole bunch of American neighbors. If there's like a few, like I know a few Americans in Santiago that I'm around, even a female expat that I'm very close to, but not to be like on a day-to-day basis, just Americans. Because that was definitely what I was excited to get away from living back stateside. So yeah, it's every day it's nothing but Spanish for me. Definitely not speaking English to anybody unless I'm here on YouTube or speaking to a friend in England or in the States or something like that. But yeah, I like it that way. Never thought I would ever be living this way, where I would be living in a country where, well, I lived in Germany, I lived in Italy, but it was like more so a lot of the Germans, besides the elderly, the older Germans, they didn't speak English. And the same with the Italians, mostly because living near Air Force Base, usually like the how am I trying to say? The nationals, I think they speak English because they're very close to the base. But here it's different. There's no Air Force Base here in Dominican Republic. So it's just majority of the people do speak Spanish. So. But like I said, I like it like that. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
I don't want to.
And guys, we're not cranky, we're not being evil, but when you're the right person, you move overseas, you're gonna be talking the same way, like Dre, like Kyla. I'm pretty sure Jorge's gonna say something similar. Listen, we found paradise, and we want to protect paradise. And if you're one of those people who want to be a PP, you want to be a paradise protector, come on down. But if you're gonna bring the mentality with you, like Dre saying, like, hey, I just flew 2,000 miles to find the nearest Popeyes or a hip hop, or I don't want to dance salsa in my True Religion jeans and my J's that just dropped last Saturday, or Sasua, Medellin. Moving abroad.
Like Jesus is sewer with Timberlands on. Like, what the heck?
Don't do that.
What are these? Am I lying? Am I lying? There's not New Yorkers that's been walking around Sasua with Timberlands on.
Oh my God.
Sweating like shit.
Thank you. I ain't lying. That's why I don't want to be around Americans. They always think everything is almost an egotistical thing that they don't want to learn other people's culture and other people's ways of doing things. And I don't want to be a part of that. One of the first things that Andrea's dad, on our first conversation that he had, he wanted to make sure, because Latin families check out, see if the person's cool with cool enough to be in the family. You're basically doing an interview. He wanted to make sure was I not one of those rude Americans? That's one of the first conversations he had. He wanted to make sure not was I just good for his daughter, but was I good for the culture in the country? Now, I've had my American moments, but for the most part, no, I don't try to walk around with my nose in the air and try to change people's culture. Well, they should have this here, or they should. No, they should have a place where you can go and you can enjoy being American. They should make a country called Mini America. And all you people that want to be mini Americans, y'all can go into that country. But when you come to other people's country, you got to respect their cultures. And that's what drew you to these places.
Exactly.
That's very true.
So Bruce said, so get the passport, but don't get the passport. Basically.
Bruce crazy.
Basically. Or you haven't said that, so I'm gonna take that as your answer.
Yeah, no, I mean, DR is love, man. DR is love. definitely, I love the fact that you don't have to do something wild and crazy in order to live there and stay there for a long period of time. That's what I like. For all you guys out there that are thinking to get married and do dumb ass shit to stay in a country.
That means don't go to Sasua and marry the first thing walking for some residency.
Nah. DR is love it, like y'all say, man. The worst thing you can do for yourself, and you will set yourself up, is expecting the U.S. in any other country, be it DR, be it
Yes.
that. I mean, you're running from the states, so it's kind of like, does it make sense for you to want the states in another country? You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason why the cost of living is so much better here than in the states, right? There's a reason. It's obviously because it's the cost of living and the way they operate and do things. If the cost of living was the same, then it probably wouldn't be worth it to move. You know what I mean? It's the reason why your money holds more weight. It's a reason why that the U.S. pays $100,000 to do a job, and here for that same job they probably only get paid $400 or $500. There's a reason. So you can't expect the same thing. So yeah, you're 100% right about that, Jay. The worst thing you could do, you will hate life if you try to come to the DR and try to make sense of your appointment was at 1 o'clock and he on Monday and he showed up on Wednesday. If you try to make sense of that shit, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
For real.
You have to definitely be patient. You have to have a lot of patience, and you have to leave that like the United States, that American mentality from wherever you just came from the United States, because people do come here. And I know a lot of people that do want to come here and visit and are getting their passports, but I'm just like, to the point where it's like, nah, I don't want you here, because it's people like Dre was saying, the attitudes. I could just picture some of the girls that I know, the woman that I know, bringing them here, and they're like, ew, Kyla, what type of food is this? They don't have this, or they don't have that. And I was like, I don't need no embarrassment. I don't need you coming here embarrassing me, or just being rude, just being plain rude. Like, I just will not invite you to. You could come to DR, but you're not coming where I am, because there's just some people, like you said, just with that attitude, like, ew, what is this? And why don't they have this? And what type of music is this? Like, I only listen to hip hop. Like, what is this they're listening to? And it's just like, oh no, like, no, like, you just stay there. Just stay there.
Stay where you are.
Stay right there in Michigan or wherever you're in the States.
Get you on a nice little $500 cruise. Go cruise to some places once a year, and go see your grandmama in Alabama and look at them for the family reunion, and head on back to your states. But as far as coming down here to Colombia, I ain't about to hype up nothing. You guys are people, like I say, people think I be kidding. Ask them when the last time they saw me do a video on Cali, Colombia. I'll wait. We ain't dropping nan video on Cali, Colombia. The next one we dropping is on the festival. We done on the events because of the Afro-Colombian presence, and we want people to see more of the Afro-Colombian presence on YouTube. But we ain't trying to hype up Cali. We sit back and see what y'all do to other locations. We're gonna have the same dudes come down here and act a fool. Nah, ain't about to happen, man. It ain't about to happen. So I ain't about to. I appreciate Chop for the question, but that's my answer. I mean, I do not like being around Americans. You guys, I don't care if you're black, white, and that's why I talked about different cultures. I don't care if you're male or females. Y'all mess up a soup sandwich in the New York Minute. And when people say that y'all go to other countries with that American imperialist mindset, they're not just talking about white people. When they say that United States, the rulers or the supreme, or you got to teach other countries how to behave, they talk about you black people too, you Latin people too. Y'all go to other countries from the United States, and your version of Latin is supposed to be the best version of Latin. You from Puerto Rico, girl, stop it. You from Puerto Rico, and then all of a sudden you want to get brand new when you get to other countries. So yeah, I don't deal with nothing that's American. Last night, me and a couple of fellas went out dancing, having a good time. And the barmaid, she was, because it wasn't that many dudes, so she just having us going dancing to this person, that person, that person. She just taking us around. She bringing dancers to us, partners. And there was this one sister from the States, and she was like, "Oh, I don't fit." I was like, "Wait a minute, you know English?" She was like, yes, I'm not dancing with her. Straight up. And I grabbed the bottom. Sweetest young lady. And I pulled her to the side and I said, women from the United States? No. I basically was, let me see if I got it. Hermosas, I forgot how to say United States in English, in Espanol. Americanas, hermosas, muy mal. Muy mal. She said, she turned to me, she said, total Colombianas? I say, total Colombianas. I'm not dancing with nothing from the States. No, I don't touch. The reason why I don't do that is because I don't want to even guess if you're a good sister or you're a bad sister. See, go to DR. Russ and them, they're going to give you a chance. I ain't giving you no chance. Yeah. I ain't going to give you no chance to pretend to see if you're a good sister or if you ain't a good sister. You ain't got to worry about it. If I ain't going to dance with you, I dang sure ain't going to talk to you. Because a couple times that some brothers down here, us groups, tried to talk to sisters, because so many sisters come down here to get their teeth done, their breasts done, their butt done. We always see y'all sisters down here for 4 or 5 times. Yeah, first of all, y'all do some horrible work when it comes to choosing y'all doctors. But next, we see y'all all the time. And so we try to be friendly like Russ and them do. And every single sister that us brothers tried to be there for, like, sister, make sure, if anything happens, here's our, y'all all walk around like, I got this, I'm Miss Independent. Remember, in the States, I'm like that. So from now on, I don't care what country I go to. If I see a sister from the States, you already know a white girl from the States. I ain't trying to holler at her anyway, because she's smelling like Funyuns. Straight crazy. So I don't know why they sit back and they want to pack everything else but deodorant and cologne and perfume. Everything else is a backpack. Why you can't put that in there? I don't get it. But when it comes to sisters from the States, you ain't got to worry about it. We waving from afar. I'm talking about, like, if you're on one side of an ocean and I'm on the other side of an ocean, we can wave. But other than that, I don't mess with sisters from the States. Ever, no, never. For nothing. You can't even dance for me. I've seen it too many times how y'all treat other brothers that try to look out for you, and then other brothers in other countries try to look out for you. Like, for example, Russ and them, they're anomalies, and they're that older crowd. We get sisters that's under 40 come down here, and they just think okay, cool, be that. I don't mess with you anyway. I don't mess with you in the States, so I dang straight gonna mess with you out of the States. So that's why I'm like that. If you're a person that act like you got some sense in your head and you really want to be a good person, like these gentlemen and ladies that were on the panel, the young lady on the panel, hey, I'm down for you. I'm the one to meet you at the airport. But if you're a dude or a young lady or sister, and you bringing that American mindset, don't worry about it. You'll never see my face except for on you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And you guys, anybody that met me, they know this is the real Andre. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you're a good person, I will open up all the doors for you. But if you one of them people that I can sense, my spidey senses sense that you ain't about the right, and all you want to do is act like you coming down here and make this country into America, here's what we gonna do. I'm gonna make sure your trip is the most boring trip you ever had, so you can leave Cali and you can go back to the barbershop and tell all your little friends in the barbershop, man, never go to California because it's so boring and I just can't stand it. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Take the medicine so they can get you all the scopolamine. And you can wake up the next morning and your passport missing and your laptop missing, your money missing, your wallet missing, and your self-esteem is missing. Go there. Yeah. Go to Cartagena so you can be getting your sex outside the window. Somebody can film you, and then you get booted out of the country. You can't never come back to Colombia again. Go to Cartagena. Go under the clock tower. Do all that, but do not come to Cali. Do not come anywhere near me. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Do not come near me. Y'all some F up artists. Y'all mess up everything you touch. But if you good people, like I said, I roll out the red carpet, and every dude that came down here that I was cool with, they said, man, Dre, I didn't know that you could have such a good time in Cali, Colombia, man. You showed me a great time. I met some great people. Half the time, dudes, I don't even see them after day 3 because they got them a little girlfriend or something that's going to take up the rest of the week. So I don't even see them no more. But the rest of you dudes and rest of you ladies, especially sisters from the States, y'all done messed that up. I don't mess with you in the States, and I really don't mess with you outside the country. So That's that dude that don't mess with us. Yep, that's him. Me right here. You don't say nothing to me. If I hear your English, I'm going this way.
Oh, yeah, there you have it. Cali ain't no good. DR, depending where you go, what you looking for? Maybe. In Brazil, we don't have electricity. You don't want to come here. Ain't no power here.
Yeah, man.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. I always know when I get drilled online, it's going to go over 3 hours. So that's just that's always how it goes. Kyla, thank you for the special pop-up. This wasn't even planned. Make sure you guys go check out all these channels. If you haven't already, subscribe. Go like some videos. Go binge watch some videos. Definitely some great content on all these channels. Kyla and Jorge, Dominican Republic. Dre in unknown parts of Colombia. I don't know where he's at. But he's definitely in Colombia. So make sure you guys go check out his channel. Stay backstage, guys. I'm going to end the show. Thank you for everybody who's been a part of this. Miss Felicia, Bruce, Joel, Haitian Gunman, Profe, Don Omar, Let's Talk Spanish TV, all you guys. Sorry to get to all the comments, but I hope you guys learned a lot from this live. To the next one.
Chapapa